Hello, my beautiful gemstones. Welcome to Friday night's live intuitive oracle with myself and Ghostdragonzw. It's so good to see you all here. So happy to be here tonight and just feel like this week kind of flew by, but also kind of didn't. So it's like every other week where it's like I feel like it was just oracle a couple days ago, but the week itself was so slow. Monday, I was super duper tired. So I was like, I've got the whole week. I'll do a couple little things and I'll take the day off. Yeah. Tuesday, RJ stayed home from school sick. Wednesday, Tuesday I worked. I did catch a little up. Wednesday, he was sick. Thursday, ice storm today. Today, he had school. So I didn't get much done this week. Did have a lot of interesting chats with people, just kind of things I'll mention throughout the stream, just some people's audacity and I think some miscommunications that are, about what I do, why I do it, how I do it. Yeah. I found a store that actually sells my chicken wing flavored potato chips. So I was just eating some of those. So if I'm making weird faces, that is why. I'm also not feeling too good. I feel a little feverish, which I'm really hoping that I'm not. We missed basketball last week because right after this live stream, RJ got really, really sick and vomited. It was, of course, something he ate. I knew it was something he ate because my son doesn't get sick like that. Like I don't either. If I'm throwing up, there's definitely something wrong. So I was like, all right, get it out of your system. We'll be fine. The following morning, though, he got sick again. So we had to blow off basketball. But basketball was at 9 last Saturday morning. It's at 8 again tomorrow. So I think it's 3 more weeks of basketball. So the last basketball game is the Saturday before my birthday, and my birthday falls on a Saturday. So I think the 22nd, February 22nd, because my birthday, is the 1st. For those of you asking what I want for my birthday, because I have gotten a lot of people that have asked that, honestly, financial donations. And if you don't want to do that, or if you actually want to get me something, there's a bajillion things on my Amazon wish list. So go all out. Do you. Later on, I will show you something I received today. The card in it just said, thanks for the reading. I do my set readings for my patrons every single month. I haven't done like an outside of Patreon reading in a while. Nobody buys readings from me anymore. So I don't know who it was from. I feel like the person went out of their way to remain anonymous, though. Otherwise, when I popped up the YouTube short about it, they may have said something. But either way, whoever you are, it was one of the most amazing and incredible gifts I've ever anonymously received. It was beautiful, and I'll show it to y'all later. New England Dirt Roadie, my Friday nights are saved. I love that. I love that so many of you guys feel that way. Latro. The dad jokes. How do you make a small fortune from investing in Bitcoin? Start off by investing a large fortune in Bitcoin. That is definitely true. What do you call a snowman with a six-pack? An abdominal snowman? I prefer adorable snowman. Why isn't this working to like move me up? Hold on. There we go. Heather B, what's up, girl? Blue Crossroads. Hey, folks. Hope to see everyone here tonight. It should be fun. Yes, it should be. Melissa Nicole, don't worry about it. We've all got stuff happening. Lotus Girl, I know you're not feeling well. I didn't respond to your voice text yesterday because I'm not listening to them. I'm not listening to them until after I do your monthly on Monday. And I am definitely doing it Monday, provided, nothing happens. We have another crazy snowstorm coming in, or so I'll, but it's on my list. It's first on my list. The only reason I didn't get to it today is because I just realized this morning that I had one person who still had not gotten their February. So I was like, okay, if I can only do one today, I've got to give the person their February. But I want to do that reading authentically and then read what you sent me yesterday because it was a lot. But I got you. You know that. We got you. Josephine, thank you so much for the donation. We see you, girl. Mark Halstead, Queen Gemma. I love it. I love it. And Sir Ghosty Dragon. And Edna, so good to see you. Roger Blair. Oh, hey. Chris Jarvis, Mrs. Cleo. It's Miss Gemma, sir. Okay. I used to love the Miss Cleo commercials. They were big when I was like 18, 19 years old. Life with Bobby. Hey, boo. Let's bring in the man of the hour, and I'll yip yap as we go through.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, you guys like my new polka dot shirt? It matches my polka dot nails. I love polka dots, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that about me. I didn't actually know that about me until recently, but I have the white one with the black, and so I got the black one. And I got this thing. It just said Japanese necklace, but it looks like a little disco ball. Cliff Clark, hey! What is up? Thank you, Miss Heather. I got them on Temu. They were like 89 cents. As usual. But I really like these ones. Normally, if I like a pair, I'll buy them. I'll buy like 4 or 5 packs of them. Because sometimes, and it's very rare that it happens, but every once in a while, they'll look really nice in the picture and then they'll look like poop when I get them. So if I find a pair that I really, really like, I'll order a few more. Even though I was finally like today, I'm like, you know what? I've got a few extra bucks. I've been wanting this pair of flats from Temu. They're like with the shipping because they're from a local store. So I won't have to wait 2 weeks to get them. So it's like $2.99 plus tax for shipping or whatever. It was like $16. So I'm like, I'm going to order me these shoes. I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to splurge. I'm going to buy myself something nice. And PayPal was like, no, you don't have any money. I was like, where did it just drains out. It just drains out. You know what, Heather? It really depends. It's kind of like with anything else. The more you pay, the better the quality is going to be. But the flats that I've gotten have been really good. I got my little guy a pair of sneakers from them they were like $13 for this generic pair of Spider-Man sneakers just for him to like kick around in. He loves them and he's still wearing them. They outlasted his $60 Under Armour sneakers. Sneakers, good. I did get a pair of boots from them once that they were like cowboy boots or cowgirl boots. They had a little heel that were like really raggedy, but that was like my only bad experience with shoes. As long as it says fits true to size, check for that with anything, because otherwise it's an Asian size and then you're not going to get the right size. As long as it says fits true to size, they should be good. Yeah. Temu. Oh, I thought you were asking me how are they? Like, are they good? Yeah, so they're not like Temu brand. It's things like if I went on and wanted to sell an Oracle deck once I finally make one, I can do that on Temu, which is for like super cheap. Because now they do like local shops. So like this wig, I needed a new pink one bad, guys. They were looking raggedy. So I ordered this pink one like 5 days ago and I already got it. Black Dragon. I love their stuff. The only thing I would not recommend from Temu is anything like electronic. I've had a couple bad experiences. I won't order any electronics. But other than that, as long as you get what you pay for. Like, I think this shirt was like $4. This necklace was $2. Like this wig was like $12. It's all very cheap stuff. But so far, I've managed to get 3 walk-in closets full of clothes for rather cheap, and they look good. So it was really fast, considering Temu takes like 14 to 16 days normally. But if it's from a local shop, you get it quicker. You just have to, instead of free shipping, you have to pay $2.99. Black Dragon, I did a short for you, and then I never heard from you again. I thought you were ditching me, sir. Don't forget, guys, if you pay extra for other people to have readings, you're paying for people who cannot pay tonight, not for just like anybody who comes in. Because if someone's willing and able to pay, I obviously prefer that they do. I had someone get angry with me. Now, I had a couple of people say something to me this week about not getting back to them. So don't just automatically assume I'm talking about you with this story. This is someone who got angry and kind of nasty with me about not responding to them. I think it was last Friday. I was like, okay, cool. I'll go in my messenger and I'll check it out. Well, I haven't had a chance, number one. And number two, it slipped my mind. And I had to tell the person, like, listen, you're asking me for free services, right? So how are you being so nasty to me because it's been a week? right? Like, did we have an appointment, a paid appointment? And it's not that I won't help people for free. I actually do it all the time, but you've got to remind me a couple times. Like, you've got to be like, yo, Jones, I've already asked you twice. Mark Holstead's been waiting for me to check an email for like 5 months, but he understands that like I'm dealing with a lot, you know, like there are other things. And if it's urgent, y'all got to let me know that. But if it's something like, you know, I need you to check out this channel and tell me what you think, I'm probably not going to have much time for that. You know, I work 8 billion hours a week. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I cook, I clean, I take care of my home. I'm in the PTA. I bring my son back and forth to sports. I have a lot going on. So just a reminder, guys, I'm human too. And particularly if you're asking me for something for free, I don't ever really say no. I really don't. And I probably shouldn't put that out there, but I really don't. But it might take me a little time. And I just expect some grace from people sometimes, you know, especially people that are in here, right? Like if you're in here with me every week, you know a lot more than a random person who's just going to be looking at my videos or whatever. One other thing I want to say, guys, I put a poll in the YouTube community, the community posts, because my glitches in the matrix, alternate reality, pre-recorded videos, like my watch time and view hours are down, like significantly down. Like, whereas by this time they reset on the 21st of the month, by now I should have over at least 200. I've got like 40. So I asked you guys, you know, within the context of what I already talk about on this channel, what do you guys like to hear about? Pale crawlers, Bigfoot, cryptids in general. Do you love the glitches in the matrix? Do you hate them? Do you want to hear, we have on Monday, Close Encounters of the Sixth Kind. So this is death by extraterrestrial, documented cases, guys. I went all in on the research in this one to make sure every single case I brought to you guys actually did happen. You guys got to let me know. It's not like emailing me a whole case and expecting me to go through it and like move everything around. This is telling me I like these kinds of stories, you know, and I was even planning on taking like all 4 slots or like whatever you guys said and just like making a list, like number 1 next week, number 2 the week after. Like, I don't mind doing that. But my watch time, and that really affects me, guys, because aside from the little bit of donations that I get from in here, which I appreciate them, not ragging on anyone. I get what I ask for. I ask for $2 for card or free for members, so I'm not complaining. But besides that, the only other revenue I get is from you guys watching the videos. So please, if there's anything you've missed, I've also learned how to tag them a lot better. So I've been going through and tagging my videos. Cliff Clark. Oh, Salvador, what's up? Cliff Clark wants to know how you feeling. Yes.
I'm alive. Neighbors haven't called the police on me yet, so I guess I'm good.
My mom bought me a deck. Well, she gave me an Amazon gift card for Christmas. The deck that she got me, I've been wanting for a long time. It was like $33, so I couldn't really afford it. But with the gift card she gave me, I was able to. It's called the Solace Oracle. Yeah, they lost my package. And it's like, I've been waiting 3 years for this deck. And of course, Amazon lost my package. Thank you, Edna. I think most of you guys do. I just don't understand why the views are so down lately. I feel like I've really stepped up my research. I'm a lot more organized, like behind the scenes. So I don't know what's going on there. I'm thinking like, am I putting out? But then I realized there's only the 1 live stream a week for the past month and a half. And even though it doesn't seem like it matters, if 15 people come in, and I'm not blaming you, Ghost, to make you feel bad. I'm just like thinking in my head, even if just 15 people come into your live stream, that's 45 views right there. Plus, so it does like have that effect because I'm putting out the same amount of content I've always put out. So hopefully, I also feel like YouTube is shadow banning me a little bit because some of my tags are like death by UFO, death, murders, unsolved. So, but that's what the videos are about. So, all right, let's get it cracking. That's exactly it, Cliff. That's why I always tell people, like, I will help you if you need my help, but you might have to remind me like 4 times because I get caught up and I'm very forgetful. Divine Empathic, what's up, girl?
Go ahead and do Heather B since Netter's not here yet.
Alrighty. What are we doing? Heather, I'm going to use energy and spirit. Hi, Divine Timing. I got an empty package one time from Amazon. It was supposed to be lotion, and it was an empty package, sealed and everything, completely sealed. And they gave me like a hard time. Like, it's kind of like those videos where it's like Uber Eats wants me to prove I didn't get my food, and it's like people standing on their porch like this. You know, like, how do you prove that you didn't get something? Cheaper than the grocery store. Yay! Oh, Netter is here. We'll do you next, hon. Oh, he doesn't want to go yet anyway. Oh, nice. Okay. So, Heather, you got the Goddess of Dreams in the reverse shadow. This is vision, intuition, receptivity. Y'all be mean. Welcome. Cut my time online down 27%. Well, that's good. I guess it kind of depends on what you're looking at, right? I know my time online is up, but I work online. So wrenches, just be at the ready, because I think I did piss the animal people off this week, probably. So Heather, you got card number 25, the Goddess of Dreams, vision, intuition, and receptivity. Latro, make sure you come back. The Goddess of Dreams reversed indicates a feeling of distance from the spirit world and from the unlimited inspiration of your spirit guides. Perhaps you don't believe in their power. Perhaps you don't trust your ability to receive and interpret their messages. Or perhaps you're just too busy to pursue such spiritual approaches. Whatever the source of this disconnection, however, you're locking out a powerful flow of truly beneficial energy from your life. Heather, it's time to let go of your hesitation and open up to the ever-present assistance that your developing intuition can bring. Start to meditate on a more regular basis, even if only for a few moments each day. Invite the guidance of spirit often and trust the information you receive. Your soul longs for you to awaken to the amazing visions of your eternal life. Affirmation: my intuitive powers are truly unlimited. I trust my messages and embrace the beautiful visions of my future. Well, I love that name. Faith, what is his channel? Do you mean this channel? This is Gemma Jade. Unless you're talking to someone else, that could be it too. Welcome. It's your first time here, I think, right? Okay, Heather, this is very interesting because it's something I've also been struggling with. So more than likely, a lot of us in this chat are struggling with this. One thing I've never been able to really do is like sit and meditate, right? Just clear my mind. I feel like it's kind of the same with you. So the energy that I'm getting, oh, definitely welcome. I love your name, by the way. The energy that I'm getting from you, Heather, is like, you know, the concept, like you understand the concept of what we talk about in here. You understand, you know, the concept of Black Dragon, hold that thought. Don't forget to ask me again if I forget. Of like how to, like what I do here, right? For you, you believe the messages, you believe in your own power. It's like, it's not that you disbelieve what I'm telling you. It's just getting used to calling in your team, right? Or asking spirit for help. It can take a lot of getting used to, and it's very hard to train our mind. It takes a really long time. I feel like you've been doing very well at, you know, again, emotionally detaching, just focusing on you. But when it comes to the stuff that's a little bit bigger, such as, you know, calling spirit in and asking for help, or really following your instinct and intuition, even when it could like agitate someone else. Like if you feel uncomfortable in a situation, saying, you know what, I know y'all are going to be mad with me, but I'm not going to do that. I don't feel comfortable with it. Give you guys an example, and it does pertain to this. In a group chat that I'm in with several other women that I kind of know. I don't know all of them very, very well, but I've spent time with each and every one of them, and I thought we got along well, and our kids get along well. The one of them keeps mentioning politics. And I am, I think, 1 out of 2 of the 5 of us. So there's 2 out of 5 of us that lean one way, and there's the other ones that lean the other way. But I feel like this person is all the way on the other side of the spectrum. And she keeps bringing it into our group chat where we're like talking about play dates. So my first instinct, the first time it happened, and Heather, this does pertain to you, so don't worry. The first time it happened, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to ignore it. I'm not going to say anything because it could have been a mistake. She could have been meaning to message. They all know how I voted, right? They all know we don't talk about it. Not because I care, but most of them do. So it happened again. And I was like, you know what? I'm not calling you a liar, but that what you just said is very poorly researched, and I'm not going to stay in this chat to have political conversations. Love you, ladies. See ya. I was so terrified of saying that, even though my instinct and my intuition was telling me, like, you've got to put your foot down on this. You've got to put your foot down on this, or it's going to keep happening, because this person knows. This person knows that this is going to trigger you. They've already tried it once before. Do you know what I'm saying, Heather? And I feel like it's those types of things, like, you know, deep down inside that something either isn't working, isn't right for you. You shouldn't go along with something, even if you already agreed to. But it's that part of you that actually has to say that. Not that you're any kind of weakling or wallflower. It's just, I feel like in a certain situation with maybe like a handful of people, you're not really fully able to be yourself, to say what you mean what you say, and not have to, like, ever since I've been thinking, I wonder how this is going to go the next time I run into them. You know, are they going to be mad with me? Are they going to bully me? Are they, you know, moms can be mean girls too. I know most of them won't, but it's this one that I'm worried about. So basically I went off on a tangent, and I apologize, but Heather, this is the goddess of dreams. Number one, you are getting so many downloads. Your instinct and intuition is completely and totally on point, as it's been for a long time. But I feel like in the next 2 weeks, you absolutely must, at the very least, consider saying what needs to be said, without the thought of there being some sort of consequence, right? If somebody cares about you, loves you, respects you in any way, shape, or form, if you tell them something they're doing or saying is bothering you, triggering you, hurting you, etc., they shouldn't want to keep doing it. It's not the fact that you're bringing it up again. It's the fact that they keep doing it, right? The universe really is begging you to try your very best to get used to just acting on instinct. This isn't acting on impulse, acting on instinct. Meaning, you know, you go to run out the door to go and pick someone up and give them a ride because they called you because they were, you know, out at a bar drunk or whatever. As you're running to the car, something tells you, do not get in that car. This is you calling that friend and being like, you know what? I'm sorry. I can't come get you after all, and not allowing yourself to be talked into it. Somebody here is manipulating your emotions. They're manipulating you. You know they're doing this, but it's like, it's just easier to not say anything. And just like, it's easier to allow yourself to be victimized in this way because it's something you're very comfortable with, that you've been dealing with for probably a pretty long time by now. This is the universe saying, until you step out of this and you become more comfortable sticking up for yourself, speaking up for yourself, and knowing that your instinctive hits are absolutely, factual and on points, you're not going to get to where you're striving and aiming to be. Okay? Because it's holding you back. Because one of the major steps to showing the universe and your higher self that you've learned these major lessons that you need to learn is you acting on instinct. Keep it in mind. Try every day. It's very hard. I've been doing it for years, and I even forget sometimes when I wake up to be like, this is going to be an amazing day, and I'm handing over all of my decision making to my spirit team, y'all. You guys take over. Now, when I remember to do that, I have amazing days. When I forget, the days are up to me. Not so great. But even after all these years, I still, sorry, I got distracted. Even after all these years, I still forget to do it. Oh, so Black Dragon It's a Heather, I'm glad it's resonating. Kimberly, what's up and welcome. Do you mean only people hold themselves accountable? Or do you mean like if only? And by the way, another new name, great. Yalby, that's great. Or Yalby. I wouldn't say anything, but now not anymore. I speak my mind. I won't allow anyone to mistreat me again. Yeah. I'm in a situation where it's like one, you know how there's like always that one thing, right? Like that one thing where like I'm doing great. I'm, excelling and succeeding. And then there's that one area. I'm kind of in one of those right now where it's like, it's like something dragging my leg as I try to run, dragging my leg back, right? I just need to break that shackle, and I'm working on it. Smoochie, yeah, we have some new names. Heather, you're welcome very much. Black Dragon, it's called Burnt Bacon, I think. It's just me going, I was cooking and I burned the bacon. Damn. But I put your name in the title so you'd be able to find it. It says something like Burnt Bacon or Bacon, and then it says Black Dragon. Had a blast. Good. I'm so glad you guys are all together. It's so nice, this community, Heather, thank you. You're so very welcome.
Ready? Blue. Blue is next.
All right, Blue, I'm going to use Halloween. Yalby says, Gemma, channels like yours with positivity for the women community is so important, and I'm glad you do it too. We are hard enough on ourselves, so it's nice to hear. Yeah, I absolutely agree, and thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I've definitely come a long way, and the one thing that I promised myself I would do, no matter how much or how little I made or how successful I was or wasn't, was just help people, right? Like, I know it sounds cliche and it kind of sounds inauthentic, but like I really do just want to help people. If people can feel good at the end of this stream, or after, if they're laughing after watching one of my ridiculous shorts, like I feel like I've done something good, right? So I appreciate that, because I do try. And I've been doing that too. It's hard for me because I don't drive, so I can't get any of the stuff I need to donate out. I'm dependent for someone else to do that for me. And, a month for a few things is very frustrating. But what seed did I plant? I didn't work hard enough to get my license, right? I'm going to be 42 years old in 3 weeks. And I was just like, meh, I'll get it eventually. I agree, Kimberly, absolutely. And this chat has just become taken on a life of its own. And nobody ever leaves here if they're genuinely here to like listen and hang out. They never leave here like feeling worse than when they came in. Yes, Kimberly, I will. Oh, I definitely will now, because we've gotten to the point where like it's being weaponized against me. So unfortunately, that's what it took. Okay, so somebody drew this card last week, Blue, but it is the ghost card, the card of regrets. Let's see what it says before we jump to conclude clues. Like smoke rising from the ashes, a mist from the sea, the dead they are watching, they have come to haunt me. The traditional definition of a ghost is the apparition of the spirits or soul of a formerly living being. Ghosts can be both in human form or animal, and even occasionally inanimate objects such as ghostly ships have been reported. The belief in spirits and ghosts is extremely widespread across time and cultures, and different worlds such as spiritus, wraith, phantom, and shade have been used to refer to them. Blue, ghosts can be both people that we have known, like ancestors, for example, who visit to assist us, or presences that are bound to a particular place because they have found it difficult to let go even after death. The concept of the haunted house or the cursed place is the basis for many a creepy ghost story. In fact, the most interesting ghost stories often involve a very angry or destructive spirit coming back to wreak its revenge after death. The Old Norse word for ghost has the same root as the word fury. It's said that the spirits that cannot let go of this world have a reason for this. Sometimes it's to warn the living, to guide them, but generally it's because they haven't finished their quote unquote business here on this plane of living. They have regrets that they wish to resolve. Should the ghost come gliding into your life during divination, it may indicate that you have some regrets to let go of. Holding grudges or regrets is burdensome work, and it weighs us down eventually. By taking actions to free ourselves of these old burdens, we clear the way for more rightful and wise action for the future. We can begin to live again fully if we let go of what was and step into new possibilities. What's up, Bat Mom? So, I'm a Pisces Sun, Libra Moon. Blue Crossroads, this isn't necessarily talking about your regrets. I picked that up right away. I told you guys that he is not a Gemini. Damien's a Libra as well. I don't think this is talking about your regrets. I mean, sure, you might have some. Everybody does, especially when you're making all of these major changes in your life and kind of just living for you for the first time in a long time. But I feel like, number one, somebody is either doing it now or about to in the next couple of weeks, try to make you feel regretful about something. Like, oh, look what you missed out on. Right? You know, you're not going to fall for it. I just feel like it's going to be more annoying than anything else, right? With somebody trying to play these games with you, you know, you're not that person. So I feel like the only thing they're going to do is fully and completely alienate you if you weren't all the way out the door already from whatever this is. I feel like you do have some concerns over either your team or a deceased loved one, you might be thinking more about them in the next couple of weeks, wondering what they're thinking of like your changes that you're making. Not so much that you're asking for or need their approval, but, you know, I'm just going to use this as an example. So say that you're moving into, I do believe it could be her, yes. But it could really be anyone, but I do get her energy. Yeah. The other one. Say, for example, you're moving into a new romantic relationship. This is you thinking like, you know, would Shauna approve? Would Shauna like my new house? Would Shauna, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like a reminiscing in a way. And I feel like the reason this is coming up is because, is her birthday coming up? Is Shauna's? There's some reason that she's back on your mind. And I know it isn't the anniversary of her passing because that was in December. So it's okay. Yeah, because I was seeing like the balloons and I'm like, oh, I forgot. Was she a Pisces or an Aquarius? Okay. So you're thinking more about her. Talk to her out loud. I don't know if you actually do that or not, but you really should. Spirits can't read our minds. If you have questions about, you know, how she or anyone else, you know, who's passed on that you're thinking about in the next couple of weeks, but I do think it's her, especially because it's her birthday coming up. Like any things you want to say, any questions that you have, ask them and then listen for the answers. And the answers will come to you like throughout the day. You don't have to just like sit and like wait for an answer to come in. You can just ask them, and as you're going about your day, you'll receive your answers. I feel like everything is perfectly fine, you know, 100% great. As in she's like happy for you and, you know, maybe a little concerned because of something going on here. But all in all, there's no like, on the other side, we can't feel really negative feelings, but we can worry, right? I don't feel there's any of that. That's all on you. That's all like you wondering, like, am I making the right choice here? Would she approve of this choice? This is just you reminiscing fondly of your wife who passed away. So she's definitely there with you, and she will be there with you for her birthday. Probably more so in the month of March than any other time of year. So besides holidays and stuff. So you've got that, you know, she'll be around. I think this card too is just alerting you to her energy more so than a normal month.
Next is Melissa.
Miss Melissa, let's use Divine Circus. No, you're not a clown. Remember what I told you? Your body and mind, your spirit doesn't know you're joking. So if you say that, even in jest, your energy is going to take on the energy of a clown. And you're not. Pixie Poirot. I definitely didn't pronounce that right, even though I gave it my all. All right. Card number 36. Melissa, within you is an intelligence that helps you adapt to various life circumstances and situations. You might do this consciously or unconsciously, but the point of any type of adaptation is survival. The Pixie Poirot card brings you a message. There's more meant for you in this life than merely surviving. You're actually meant to thrive. The oracle reminds you that you thrive most fully, abundantly, and deliciously when you're just being you. Not the version of you that another may prefer, nor the one that helps you fit into the crowd, but just you, capital Y, capital O, capital U, as you have always and should have always been. Even if that doesn't seem like enough for some people, it's more than enough for you to have the life you deserve that would bring you the most peace, happiness, and love. When the oracle of Pixie Poirot comes to you, it's time to get back to the essence of who you are. It might be time to go back to the things you dreamed about in childhood, or something that really feels like it expresses the true you, but that you cast aside for some very logical and sensible reason or another. That might be a talent, a passion, or lifestyle you're pursuing, or a deep-seated need to create or express yourself through art, clothing, music, dance, etc. It's time to reclaim that. From little dreams and childhood fantasies, a full-grown life purpose can blossom. Even if it seems fanciful rather than practical, don't drop the ball. Give yourself a chance to be and be seen, to live and thrive as the real you. You are you for good reason, not by error, oversight, or mistake. Love yourself and let yourself live, thrive, and express the original genius of you. I totally resonate with this, as well as I do with most of the cards. You know, even with everything that I've gone through in the last 10 years, or in the last six years and change that I've been completely off drugs, I've made a childhood dream come true of being a best-selling author, and of using my gifts for good. There was someone around that I love and care about, or very, very much, and really looked up to and looked to for validation, and ran everything by, and you know, that was really adamantly against me doing anything that I'm doing right now. But I had to do me. Now, I understand with you, you're in a more of a physically dangerous situation, right? I don't know what your living situation is right at this moment, but his energy is still all over you. So, you know, this is the universe telling you, you know, forget opportunities that are coming in, forget other people that are around you. Like, who is it that you want to be outside of not dealing with the abuse? Outside of being who you are for and when you're around him, who are you? What are your dreams, your wants, your needs, your goals? And how would it feel to be able to say them and have someone actually listen and act on them with and for you? Your team has not given up on you, right? They never do. They are showing me like they want you to acknowledge them more, to call them in and hand things over to them. Remember, we talked about the tag team wrestling? You know, they cannot get involved unless you tag them in, unless you ask them to. There's a lot that needs to change personally in your relationships and just personally for you. But these things have nothing to do with anyone else. You have got to become accustomed to making the best decision for you, regardless of how it makes anyone else feel, regardless of what it makes someone else think. And that's a tricky situation when you're in a physically abusive situation, right? But this is the universe and spirit asking you, like, it's got to end eventually. So when does it end? Once he takes everything, including your life? Or do you continue little by little living your life? Not surviving, living. I feel like spirit right now is being very careful with me not to push you about leaving, which is always the case. I'm never that person, but like, I feel like right now, for some reason, more so than, maybe recently, they're showing me like, don't press that issue. I feel like even telling you about opportunities that you may have missed or that are encircling you could put you into a bad place. So I'm just going to say this. There is a way to be who you truly are while also still having to play a role for somebody. Because eventually what's going to happen is you're going to, month by month, year by year, become more and more authentically you and less his version. Can't do anything right, can never do enough, You've got to find something to focus on besides surviving this relationship. What's he doing with who, when, and where? What's he going to think about what you're doing with who, when, and where? Like, it's got to stop. Okay. But like, what do you do until then? If not focus inward on you. If for no other reason than to make sure this doesn't happen again. Melissa, do me a favor, okay? If you can remember, maybe write it down. I want you to change one small thing a week. What do I mean by small thing? It's going to sound absolutely ridiculous, but I'm going to tell you I did it. When I first got off drugs, I started putting on like my socks before my pants because I'd always put on my pants and then my socks. It sounds stupid. It sounds ridiculous, but changing those little things gets your body and your spirit used to changes. Then as the weeks go on, change bigger and bigger things, right? Eventually I'm wearing pink wigs and walking around in public in them, just being totally me. But it didn't start out that way. I started out very like scared to even wear a clip-in ponytail for fear of like being mocked or made fun of. Now I'm like, yeah, I wear wigs and I'm very comfortable in, you know what I mean? But I think it all started with me changing those teeny tiny little things. That's what you should do in the next couple of weeks. Little by little by little, those changes will get bigger and bigger and bigger. To the point where I honestly feel, and I don't say this to hurt your feelings, I honestly feel like you're not going to be worth the hassle to him. Even though you're not hassling him, you're just being a normal woman, a normal human being. It's going to get to the point where like he doesn't want to have to argue with someone. Like you're going to be his version and that's that. You're going to get to the point where you're no longer going to be willing, and it's going to be because of these tiny little changes. Just try it, all right?
Next is Josephine.
Melissa, those crybaby boys slapping around women to try to make themselves feel bigger than they actually are. I'll tell you what, I think about my abuser, the one that did the most damage to me. Girl, I know it's impossible to think this now, but if he weren't deceased and I were to ever run into him, I would take him down so fast. So fast. Because eventually it got to the point where I started fighting back. And now I look back and I'm like, this little punk, puny My mom called him Lurch. Like, eventually you will get to that point, but you need the distance first. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I relate to you a lot because I have been there. You know, I've been right where you are. You said Josephine? Miss Josephine, we're using Oracle of the Universe. Where'd the new people go? Are they still here, or did my talking scare them away? Nothing normal about me. Hey,
here, so
we all find our own version of normal, right? As we go through life. That's exactly what it is. That is exact. Thank you, Miss Mitchie. Thank you, Ghost. That's exactly what it is, Bat Mom. And it took me a long time to understand that, to stop seeking validation. And I got so upset with myself the other day. I think it might have been yesterday, because I allowed myself to be sucked into it. I've been so good with like not allowing myself to get upset, not allowing myself to feed into the things I know this person is saying just to get a reaction out of me, so that they can turn around and say, well, look how you're acting. I'm not going to listen to this, and have their excuse to walk away and not be the bad guy. And I fed right into it. I fell right into it. I called Ghost and Chris crying, like, I can't believe I fell for this. But it happens, you know? Oh, okay, Miss Josephine. You got Draco, the card of guardianship, card number 28. And it is the constellation of Draco. Next is Mark Holstead. That is not it. I was on Cancer for some reason. Guys, please consider donating to PayPal or Cash App if possible. Obviously, Super Chat and Super Stickers are just as good, because I get those at the end of the month in my pay on the 21st. I get 51% of whatever you guys donate. If you donate PayPal or Cash App, I get it right away, and I'm broke. So it is easy. It is easy, because I was talking to them about something that they had, I'll just use an example. Say it's like a hoarding situation, right? And I'm like, I have no room like for anything in this particular space. That's supposed to be mine and this person's space, right? And so I've had to make do. I've had to put my stuff very neatly, because I am a neat freak, almost to the point of like compulsion. I've had to place it around one of the common rooms. And this person's like, hoarding? Look at all your crap laying all around. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, for 4 years, you've been promising me that you'd make one of these other rooms into an office. And he was like, there she is, and walked out. And I was like, oh man, I played right into it. But I let it go. And the other person lets it go too, because, we've, it's how we are right now. Right. I don't necessarily think this person's a bad person. I just feel like they didn't know what they were getting into with me. I was an 86-pound homeless heroin addict when we met. And I guess they always thought I was going to be that. All right, Miss Josephine. You are precious. Know what you value I'm sorry, it's hard to see. You are precious. Know what you value and what your values are. Guard your own true self and your authenticity. Ensure your boundaries are strong. Protect your ideas. Okay, this is what I'm looking at. It's very hard to see, so bear with me. Protect your ideas. Ensure your property is safe and secure. That's an interesting one. Oh, look at this beautiful dragon, guys. Dragons appear in mythos from all over the world, and many stories have a theme of treasure or guardianship. Ancient Sumer, China, Celtic culture, Korea, Japan, and through the Middle East, the dragon protects what is his. Ladon was the Hesperian dragon, the dragon of the West, a fearsome creature with 100 heads, who guarded the golden apples of the Hesperides, the nymphs of the evening lights. But Mom, that was for you. Never know what's going to come back, you know. He began to try and woo her, but she had heard of his bad reputation with women, so was afraid of him and fled. Poseidon looked for her everywhere and couldn't find her. He spoke with Delphine, a magical dolphin or daemon, and told him of his genuine love for her. He also wanted to have the chance to assure her that he was virtuous when it came to her and wanted to marry her, not just have his way with her. Delphine had a feeling he knew where Amphitrite was, and as a dolphin, he was always welcome to visit her. Delphine found Amphitrite and explained how Poseidon felt and assured her that he was serious and to give him a chance to meet her again. She agreed. This time, Poseidon explained his true intentions and took the time to woo the nymph. Eventually, she agreed to marry him in return for his good deeds and words. Poseidon gave Delphine immortality and the constellation Delphinius. I know, girl. I know. I know. Josephine, when we're looking for love, it's worth taking the time to get crystal clear about what it is we really want. Is it a long-term relationship leading to marriage? Is it a quick fling, companionship, someone to share values and experiences with? What are our expectations? Many relationship has broken down over different financial, sexual, labor allocation, and parenting expectations, and not because one didn't find the other desirable. We should take time in our sharing of ourselves if it's for the longer term. Chinese, Polynesian, and Hindu astrology recognizes Delphinius as significant. It's a small constellation in the northern sky and has a recognizable diamond pattern made by its brightness called Job's coffin. The most recognizable nebula is the Blue Flash Nebula. Words of power. I am open and responsive to deep and flowful love. Don't allow yourself, Josephine, in the next couple of weeks to be misled. Okay? Yeah, Blue, I was just thinking that actually. Josephine, don't allow yourself in the next few weeks to be misled. I do feel like, I don't know if I'm getting an energy. So there's two different energies here for a significant other, right? So whatever sex you're attracted to, I'm just going to use the opposite sex because it's easier for me to tell this example. So I'm getting a past lover, or someone who you're with right now, but you know is not for the long term. But I'm also getting someone you may meet while out and about, possibly on a dating website or on social media, on the internet in general. The fact of the matter is, though, neither one of these people is honest. Neither one of these people, beautiful Julie girl, I love the photo, roar. Neither one of these people is right for you, and neither one of these people have good intentions or have your best interests at heart. Josephine, here's the thing. I feel like you have been in at least one very recent toxic relationship and probably more throughout your life. And you're not to a point yet where you really understand, what do you bring to the table? What are you willing to accept? These are all things that I didn't learn until I was like 39, and I'm still learning them. So it could take a lifetime. Hopefully it doesn't, because then when you reincarnate, you don't have to fall right back into the same traps and patterns because you'll have elevated with the knowledge. But Josephine, I just feel like in the next couple of weeks, whether it's a person you're with, a recent ex, or, well, it looks beautiful, or somebody you meet over social media or over the internet, it's like throw them all away. And I feel like the reason you're attracting these types of people, is not because you don't deserve love or because you're a bad person. It's because the universe is trying to show you haven't yet done the inner work to be able to properly discern if someone's really going to treat you the way you truly feel you should be treated, right? The one thing someone always holds against me is that I'm a narcissist. I think that I'm some kind of queen or princess. But you know what? So what if I do? If I take care of you and I'm where I'm supposed to be, I do what I'm supposed to do, I work really hard, So what if I want the princess treatment, right? Because if we're in a relationship, I'm going to be giving you the king treatment. It's not like my problem if you are, you're always going to find fault with everything I do, or if you're jealous of my success or jealous of the attention that I get from other men. I've gotten attention from men my entire life, right? Well, from when I was 14 and up. There's nothing I can do about that. But if I have more than proven to you that there's nothing to worry about, and I feel like this is the kind of people that you're dealing with here, Josephine, and you really have to in the next couple of weeks specifically, but going forward, even I'd probably say for the next year or so, I would not get into anything serious or significant. Don't like if there's even an inkling of like a red flag. I feel like you're being manipulated, and there are just the type of men, or if you're attracted to women, I don't know, I'm just using men as an example, the type of lovers you're attracted to that you're attracting, it's like they can each provide something. But I thought Mark was next. They can all provide something, but it's like they're more in it for what you could provide them. Selfish, narcissistic, toxic. Josephine, honestly, I would, if I were you with the messages I'm getting, I would definitely stay away from dating for a little while, especially someone you're meeting on the internet through social media, dating app, otherwise, right? For at least the next 6 months, because it is like you're in a vulnerable state because of something you're either in or that you just got out of, and you're just not in the position. I don't usually give love readings, but that's what came up for you. Mark, is Mark next?
Yes, he is.
Mark, I'm going to use the Radiant Sun. Bat Mom says, if you don't believe that you're worthy, then no one else will either, Josephine. That's the thing. Cliff, I hear you. That's the thing, like, and you know what? You were absolutely right to do that. But for me, it's like, I had a person always telling me, like, I'm like, why, like, me? Like, I am not in any position to be anyone's wife at this time. Like, I am. And this person just kept saying, nope, you're a diamond in the rough. You're really special. You're so smart and intelligent. You're so beautiful. You can accomplish anything. You can do anything you want in the world. And I'm going to help you. But then once I started doing those things, it was like, oh, who do you think you are? Look at you. You think you're better than me. And, so you really have to be careful with red flags, and you really have to pay attention to them. Cliff, you know what? That's the thing. Looks fade, right? For most people, looks are going to fade, and they're not going to keep you with someone. In my 20s, it was great to be with, like, I never really had like a super hot by like normal standards boyfriend or even my husband. I guess because I could always see energy, and I would find that like the most, I want to say objectively attractive guys were like their energy was not good, and like I knew what they were about. But like even guys that I've dated that were way less attractive than me did not treat me well. I mean, they did a lot of the time, but there were, besides the cheating and the lying and all of that. And I came to realize that it's me. It's the energy, it's them too. But like, I came to realize that it's like the energy that I'm putting out, right? I'll just accept the breadcrumbs because I need something so bad. And now it's like, no, I give myself what I need. And anything someone else brings to the table is extra, and I don't ask for anything I'm not willing to give or do, but it took me most of my life to get there. And this says, am I the only one that prepares myself for a reading? Who else does this? And Cliff, that might as well, that very well could have even been true. You know what I mean? Like, that could be what you were really feeling, trying not to hurt this person's feelings. You got to watch with that because, when you said that, I immediately heard this person talking like badly behind your back. Just block that energy, to be honest with you. Come on. Can I get a card for Mark, please, Sarah? Yeah, what do you mean? And I mean, I have to prepare to do the readings, but like, how do you prepare? Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. And probably why I immediately connect every week with you. I mean, I connect with everybody for the most part. I don't have many issues, but you are very open. 2, 4.5, 0, 9. Okay, so we have Mars in Pisces, the card of escape, Mark. Those people with the Mars Pisces combination are dedicated to understanding, sympathy, and sacrifice. They use their idealistic energies in visionary and sensitive ways. I'm sorry, I have to fix my lights. I don't like them shining in my face, but I can't see that well. Can you guys still hear me? Because my Wi-Fi is going crazy. All right.
You're good.
Okay, thank you. A great deal of their powers are thrown into the development of the Piscean imagination, which, if they are fortunate to be able to share it with others, becomes a very fulfilling part of life. If Mars Pisceans have the necessary ability to develop their imaginations as an artistic talent, they will have unlimited scope of creativity. People with this planet sign combination always feel a great need to help others in caring ways. This may involve working in positions and situations in which they take on a supportive background role, and often this card indicates work for or within a large institution, usually in one of the caring professions. The Mars and Pisces combination highlights a personality that can be somewhat secretive and could involve a secret love, a plot, or even hidden enemies. When this card is drawn in a reading, it may show that the questioner's desire to please others to the exclusion of personal needs has placed him or her within a complex and uncomfortable situation. Mars in Pisces is very rarely a fighting aspect, and more often than not, eventually, when all other options fail, leads one to escape from a situation by any means necessary. Events, using great energy to extract oneself from a tricky situation, working extremely hard for the benefit of others, shutting one's eyes to the reality of a situation. So, Mark, okay, I definitely do feel like you're ignoring red flags here. I don't think it's in a romantic sense, but I do think, again, like, Mark, I get this a lot with you. I don't know who you're spending time with. I feel that like there's forced time being spent. So I don't know if you have a roommate, or I kind of understand your living situation, but it's like I feel like it's like, well, there's nobody else to talk to, so I might as well talk to this person who treats me like garbage or who I know doesn't like me, right? And really all these people are doing is pumping you for information. This is turning a blind eye. Now, someone that you dislike or that dislikes you, someone you don't really get along very well with, in the next couple of weeks, it's like I'm seeing you like dirt. Like you're going to have dirt on them. I don't feel like it'll be acting out of integrity to keep whatever you gain, the knowledge you gain about this person or these people, to yourself. The problem comes in where you start thinking about what the consequences are going to be for speaking up and speaking out and talking about what you have gleaned, right? You work with frequency a lot, more than anyone that I know personally, and you're very high up there with being able to just tap into someone's signal, so to speak, like tuning a radio station. There is definitely something going on within your community, within your apartment complex. I just see like the best thing you can do with any information that you come into in the next couple of weeks, Mark, is to think it over and then speak to someone you trust. Don't fall into gossip. Don't be like, oh my gosh, you want to know what I heard about so and so, to try to like start a conversation with someone, right? Like, you should only be gossiping, if at all, with like friends you can trust. I definitely feel like someone here is not being 100% honest about something, and they're like gaining from the lies, from being disingenuous. And you should definitely say something. You should snitch, essentially. I don't know what this is. It's a little weird. Um, the longer you keep whatever this is that you learn to yourself, it's like, then once it finally comes out, it's going to be like, well, Mark knew the whole time. Nobody's going to protect you in any way when the poop hits the fan. Ladies and gentlemen, I said poop. Where's Nutslap, by the way? Hey, Max. Yeah, Ghost, you do seem a little down tonight. Not gonna lie.
Down. Just preoccupied. Edna's next. Hello, Max.
Yeah, and I'm going to use Deep, Dark, and Dangerous. Guys, please don't forget, donate, PayPal, Cash App, if you can, if you're able. I know times is hard. After Aunt Edna, I'm going to use the potty. I'll be right back, though. It doesn't take me long, guys. Well, at least we had some new people in here tonight.
I mean, they're coming and going. You were up 21.
Well, we had 2 in the beginning.
Yeah.
That actually came in and said hi.
Yes. And they still may be watching. So just because they're not talking doesn't mean they're not watching.
Yeah, and now you got Circe, the card of alchemy. My favorite number, card number 23. You are the magic. Be your own alchemist. Deepen your plant and herbal knowledge. Do not trust fleeting first impressions. I don't think that you do that anyway. Sometimes things are not exactly as they seem, so look deeper. Get clear about what's really happening and what isn't. Circe probably is one of the most intriguing deities within all Greek mythos. Born of the god of the sun, the Titan Helios, and the ocean nymph Perse, she became one of the greatest sorceresses, herbalists, and potion makers in the ancient world. Misunderstood and feared, it was said she was beautiful and had eyes like all of Helios's children, as bright as shining gold. Eyes of bright, shining gold. The myth that most people recognize about Circe is that of her home on the island of Aia, full of tame beasts such as huge lions, wolves, and massive tusked pigs. When Odysseus arrives, he marvels at this graceful woman alone except for these huge creatures, but soon realizes that the creatures are all formerly men whom Circe has transformed into beasts with a potion, and his crew are some of those men. Again, here's the idea that a sorceress would automatically have to be of ill intent, and giving pig-making potions to sailors may be a bit of evidence of this, but let's look a bit more closely. Imagine being Circe, hunted by the great Athena, exiled to this island, and being alone except for your skills in potion-making and magic to protect you. Every now and again, a boatload of sailors comes to the island, sometimes accidentally during a storm, sometimes simply to rest and gather supplies. Circe offers them some hospitality, some salt and food, but she's a woman in their eyes, vulnerable, and, in fact, something they will use as they will. She is sexually assaulted. She's determined this will never ever happen to her again, and decides that every man who comes to the island, unless they leave the same day, will be transformed. Things change somewhat when we know the motive, right? Circe is able to pull together the elements and the plants in order to synchronistically create magic for all kinds of reasons. She assists her sister Pasiphae when she gives birth to the Minotaur, and it is suggested she created the potion that transformed Scylla and the potion that brought Odysseus back to life after he was killed by Telegonus. In a long and interesting life, Circe defended, hindered, assisted, and created big magic. Your plant companion is Rue, and your crystal companion is Violet Flame Opal, which is a beautiful crystal. I don't have any, but it's gorgeous. Okay. So, and I do feel like now you've been getting readings a lot of like somebody trying to manipulate you, pull the wool over your eyes, weasel their way back in, even after you kind of cut them off, you're on to them. This is something a little bit different where I feel like the universe is telling you, like, be careful not to treat everyone as though they can't be trusted. until they give you a reason to trust, right? I know some people do live that way. And if you normally live that way, that's fine. But in the next couple of weeks, it's not going to serve you or work to your benefit at all. All right. So this is like, for example, say your last, I think you're married, but like, let's just say you're not. Your last 5 dates have been horrific. So now the next date you're about to go on, you're not giving him a chance to be horrific. You're going to go and you're going to be who you truly are and not turn on the charm at all and let him take that. It's like, be careful that you're not taking something out on someone who didn't do anything, who doesn't deserve it, or who hasn't yet shown you that they deserve to be treated this way. You're usually good. Oh, no, absolutely. You guys know, I'm just using an example. No, I know you are. Oh, thank you, Eris. I got you. There's something here, though, that I feel like is just like you're so distracted by what this other person that we talked about last week is trying to do. And even if you feel like you handled that situation, just wait, because it's not 100% over yet. There's either after effects or they're still at it. I feel like you're so distracted that your senses might be a little off. So just make sure you pay extra attention. Like, make sure that if you're going to tell someone, give someone a telling off, that like, all of the facts. You're not just like jumping to conclusions based on past experiences. We're normally jumping to conclusions based on past experiences with a particular person. It's like, yeah, because they've shown you already how they're going to act. I know that's right, girl. I'd be right there with you too. But this is like someone either new or someone that's been around for a while, but you don't really know that well. You may even be getting a bad vibe off them, but that could be, it's like tainted information. That's what I'm hearing. Tainted information. So it's like somebody has told you something negative about so-and-so, and you're eventually going to have to be around so-and-so, and you're going to feel like so-and-so maybe isn't so bad. And it's like, wow, this is so weird, and be like confused. The fact of the matter is, in the next couple of weeks, the simplest way I can put this is make sure you're making up your own mind about people. All right. It's important because I feel like you could really kind of screw with a relationship, a friendship, something like a kinship with someone who's meant to be in your life at this time for a very big reason, even if only for a little while, because they remind you of someone maybe that has treated you wrong in the past, or, you've heard something negative about this person or someone they know. Just make sure that you're not being too distracted by other situations going on, and you're treating everyone based on how they deserve to be treated. And how people deserve to be treated just by looking at them. Let's face it. Nut slap. All right, I got you. Let us know when you're not driving anymore. I will be right back, guys.
Okay, next will be Cliff Clark. Salvador, are you still here? Did you want a card? I don't think he's still here. And then Divine. Then after Divine, if Divine time, nope, they're not answering. And then Batmom. So Cliff, Divine, and Batmom. Okie dokies. Hello, Eris. How are you, dear? Hope you're having a good week. And oh, okay. That's fine. We can do that. New England. I can do that. No sweat. Got you covered, dude. All good. Surviving. Yeah, I know that story. Don't believe me. I know that story. Hello, Kelly Lewis. How are you? Gemma's there she is. Time for me to shut up now.
I want to show you guys something real quick. It's only like 40 seconds. I was going to show you the actual thing, but logistically, I wouldn't be able to plug it in and show y'all. So just one sec, guys. You guys have got to see this. Shorts. Here we go. Oh, I got to play it. That would help. What's up, gemstones? So look what I got. I'm obviously not leaving it here on my messy kitchen counter. Let me move the wires. Oh my God, guys. It's one of the AI renditions of me that my friend Alexander sent. And this was a gift from another gemstone for a reading. Oh my God, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. I am overwhelmed. I absolutely love this. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, whoever sent this. You are amazing. Oh, guys, look, there's another picture on the other side. So there's this picture, and then there's this pic. Oh my gosh, this is just... Isn't it awesome? Okay, Eris paid for a reading, but she's got to go. So what are we doing there?
We're gonna do her. She said she'd take a timestamp.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, you're good. And Netter will be after Batmom.
Netter?
Yeah, will be after Batmom.
I said Ned. I'm like, all right. Cliff. We're gonna use Shaman's Dream.
Need to read that.
I called this before it happened, and it's true. I've made an opinion, and she's right. One of these people are very close to me, loved and cherished, but she's a grown woman making the same mistakes. Yeah. Yep. There's a runaway card. Thank you, and yeah, I did it like 2 or 3 weeks ago, Black Dragon. That was me, sir. All right, Cliff, let's see what's going on here. Jules Webb, connectivity. Card number 32. Connectivity, no separation, the feeling state. Cliff, approaching any oracle requires you to come in with certain expectations. You're either looking for confirmation of what you already know or attempting to shed light on what eludes you on the obvious path you're on. You're asking whether you will reach a desired goal of some kind. You're rarely able to see beyond memory or projection, and so naturally everyone comes to the oracle with a narrow perception of what's possible. Imagine that the answer to your question is not about landing at a particular destination, meeting a goal, connecting to a special lover, reaching an end game, or experiencing anything specific. Instead, you discover a shimmering web of jewels you didn't know existed. The world is interconnected in a living web of energy. It isn't possible to quote unquote know how any of it works, but know this. What is in your highest good is a sparkling jewel that lights up for you among this web of possibilities. You just need to know how you want to feel and choose this consciously. Take your focus off getting anywhere. Practice feeling and being in a place where your desired experience has already come to pass. Who will you be when this is true for you? Can you be that now? Feel that now. Practice that. The better you know your path within this web of life, the more it will light up for you. It's celebrating you already. So this is talking about, and yes, thank you. Wow. I was blown away by it. So this is telling you, Cliff, is something that I learned a while ago, and it actually does help. You can do it at any time, but I like to do it particularly when I'm feeling very frustrated, overwhelmed, trying not to, step into reactive abuse when I'm being belittled and screamed at, just trying to keep it cool. What I do is I will close my eyes and take some breaths, and I will think about my ultimate end goal for me, not having to do with anyone else. Where's the happiest I can see myself? What's the happiest I can see myself? Where will I be? What will, for me, it's my own beach house. And I want a spiritual retreat that I can run and do things like this, but in person, right? Way more than just this. Hey, what's up? I I hate YouTube. I was talking about how they're kind of screwing me. So what I'll do is I'll close my eyes and I will be in that place. I'll be on the beach knowing that it's my house that's behind me. I'll smell the ocean and I'll listen to the annoying seagulls and I will smell the sage coming from the retreat. And I feel those thoughts as heavily as I can possibly make myself, right? Cliff, this is the universe telling you there's no specific message right now except keep going, right? Where you've made decisions that you were very, very sure of recently. And then it's like, it turns out they were not the right decisions. So you did something about them, right? You ended a relationship because someone just didn't fit, even though you really wanted to be with that person and you thought, at least in the beginning, that that relationship would be a good fit. So you're taking action based on your own happiness, but not in a selfish way. And it takes some of us lifetimes to learn that. So I'm so proud of you, by the way, for being able to do that, for being able to put your own happiness and well-being before worrying about hurting someone else's feelings or, and you did it in a very tactful way, I might add. That person is not going to be as kind to you when talking about the situation behind your back. Just know that. This is the universe telling you, as you go through each day, day by day, you're learning more and more about yourself, and you really should stay on this path. Do more for you. In the next couple of weeks specifically, don't even worry about like dating or, if you really feel you need something like that in your life, go about it to have fun. Like no serious relationships for the next couple of weeks at the very least. Like try not to get into anything serious, no getting back with exes, as you know. You are really elevating your vibration. And it's simply because you're following your instinct and intuition and you're making the right decisions for you as you see fit. And you're not worrying so much about like, what's this person going to think? What's that person going to say? What is the other person going to feel? Because you're paying more attention to how you feel and what you know is and isn't right for you. That is a really hard thing for a lot of people to do, myself included. So don't let anyone make you feel bad about that. Okay. Latro, it depends on what you need it for. Cliff, in the next 2 weeks, do more things that you like to do. Take yourself out, do things you enjoy. And when you have those small moments of frustration or doubt, put yourself where, like, if you could be anywhere in the world doing anything with if money was no object, what would you be doing right now and where would you be? Don't think of anyone else being with you. This is just about Cliff. Start doing that. That's how you kind of give yourself a tune-up, where you can get back on the track of living your life for you as you charted it to live. All right? Wayne and Michelle. I yelled hey like that because I was going to be like, hey, Wayne. And then I was like, wait, I don't know which one of these doll babies it is. If you guys want readings, let us know. Latro, it depends what you're looking to do, is what kind of sage you should use. And it does make a difference.
You ready? Divine is next.
So, did you guys know there's a town called Sasquatch, Texas? Or no, not Sasquatch. I'm sorry, Bigfoot, Texas. Divine Empathic. I'm going to use myths and mermaids. Wayne, I saw your free breakfast from the school. I'm sorry. I was like, wait, really? Cheez-Its? What is going on? Yeah, I found that out when I was doing research for Monday's video. Nameless. We have Buttesville and Scott Run, which I believe are in Pennsylvania, but my mom calls them Buttsville and Scrotum. And she doesn't do it on purpose. She's always like, why would they name the town such a thing? And I'm like, Mom, that is not what it's called. Hell, Texas. Nameless Saloon. Yeah, Wayne, I saw that and I was like, let's be real. Max, nuh-uh. That would be awesome, though. Could you imagine? I think it has a population of like 300, maybe 600 people. Next week, guys, not this Monday, but Monday the 17th, we're going to have a video about paranormal encounters with Bigfoot. Yeah, I knew there was a Hell, Michigan as well. We have some weird names in New Jersey, like Ong's Hat and Old Tapan. But, I was searching just like haunted places in New Jersey, and where I live is one of like the 3 most haunted places in the whole state. And I was like, surprise, not. Oh, that's awesome. The Acme plant is in Wiley, Texas. No. I leveled up so much, I jump in my friend's truck and she had a damn near panic attack. I said, what's wrong? And she said, your aura is so bright. I laughed and gave her a hug. Yes. And you know what? When you're sensitive the way you are and you're starting to come into that, you will attract other sensitives. It's just a matter of whether they're working with their ability or not, right? Because unless we're a dark spirit or a dark soul, which there are more nowadays than I think ever before, at least since I've been alive, but even narcissists, even toxic people, even some abusers, they do have light within them. They're light beings. They were just contracted to come here and behave the way that they're behaving to learn some things and to spiritually excel. And again, that's not giving them excuses. I'm just explaining it to y'all. So like, that's how I have an itch right on that part of your back you can't reach. That's why a lot of us empaths end up in relationships with narcissists or like otherwise very, very attractive people. Spiritually, I was reading your aura attracts me. That's why we end up in relationships with narcissists and very toxic people, because we see their light and we forget to ask ourselves, but are they working with it? No. It doesn't matter if the light's there. It's what the other person is doing with it. And it brought up Clinton Road. Now, I don't live in West Milford, but I do live near it. Okay. Divine. This is a beautiful card. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this one at all. Card number 31, the Autumn Mermaid. For some reason, I just thought of the Rutgers grease trucks. Now I'm hungry. All right. Oh, so that sushi burrito. I don't know if y'all saw the short sushi burrito I got yesterday. I took RJ to the mall. We didn't have much money. I had like basically enough to Uber there, Uber back, and eat. But we made it a time because I had some Target gift cards, so he was able to get something. So anyway, it was so good. It was the most delicious thing I've ever eaten. But ever since I ate it, every time I think about it, I gag. It was like too much. Divine, as Mother Nature sheds her autumnal frock, preparing for her snowy cloak, she casts away the finery of handsome maple and hardy oak. As seasons change, so must I, subject to the clime's extremes. Yet I cannot help but long for warmer days and sunny streams. A melancholy mermaid deep in thought lies in a pond beneath a shedding tree in autumn. She weeps gently as the leaves tumble down, a sign that cooler temperatures and less vibrant times are ahead. Change is inevitable. We are all exposed to the cyclical patterns of nature. At times we rejoice, at times we buckle down to prepare for harsher weather to come. It can be very easy to wallow in self-pity, pining for the warmth and light of summer. But colder, darker days will come, and it's important not only to brace yourself for them, but also to embrace them. Be prepared for a natural change that might seem negative on the surface. If anticipated appropriately, this change may be a pleasure when embraced. Each season of our lives brings joys, sorrows, new activities, and duties. Preparation is key. Divine, look ahead to what nature is bringing you and busy yourself with plans. Just as change is natural, so can be stagnation. Now is not the time to enact change. Bide your time and wait for the opportunity. You may feel that you're ready to move on to the next stage of something, but just wishing it will not make it so. Do not wish away today. Tomorrow will come soon enough. Baby dragon! So, Divine, I feel like you probably already know this, but this is kind of just the universe's reiteration of stop. Think about what you're doing, the things you're saying. Think about where these intense emotions are coming from, where these feelings are coming from. You already know how to win whatever this is, right? We talked about it actually last week. So whatever the biggest problem or problems are in your life, it's going to be a process to work through them. It's going to be a process to, like an actual process of like, it's going to take a while. So let's use taking someone to court, for example. That takes a while, right? If you're suing someone, say, and I know you're not suing anyone technically, but let's just say like you're suing someone, that could be years and years before you see a penny. And by that time, you might only see a penny, right? This is the universe telling you that, whatever this is going to work out in your favor. But if you start becoming impatient, it's not going to work. You're going to end up making a wrong decision somewhere along the way and kind of tipping the scales in the other person's direction. I feel like you're pretty well contained, but I feel like this person, whether they're doing it on purpose or not, is like they're on your last nerve with whatever this is. And I feel like it could involve your daughter as well, which like ramps that up. I feel like you should do something small to kind of set and enforce, not just set, a boundary here with this person. For example, if you can't get a custody order, just as just an example, it may not even be this, from a court right now, right this minute, getting something on paper notarized, right? So that at the very least, you've got something in writing, getting a restraining order and saying, sorry about your luck, I'm not going to allow you to do this anymore. Like there are smaller steps you can take. If you try to rush the process though, you're going to end up losing a lot. All right. And I don't know why this is coming in for you right now, because I know you're doing so well. You've got a good head on your shoulders. You know what you're doing. I feel like don't hesitate to take action, just one step at a time, right? And don't get frustrated when things get delayed or seem like they're not working out in your favor. This is all, particularly with this situation, it's all working out for you. And I'm seeing your daughter, so I'm assuming that it has to do with her as well. Aw, baby dragon. Who's next? Oh, Blue, no, you got to stand up quickly and like put your foot flat down. Oh, and I can't wait for the Pine Barrens. I know not that many people are going to be able to come, but those of us who do are going to have such a great time.
Ready?
Divine, yes. Yes, honey.
Bat Mom.
Bat Mom. Oh, baby dragon, you don't have to entertain us, honey. Just sit back, relax, and listen, okay? You're welcome, Miss Divine. Thank you. Bat Mom, I'm going to use the Human Spirit Oracle. Yeah, Cliff, I want to get together and do a spirit claw. I want to hunt for the Jersey Devil. I want to spend like a weekend or 3 to 4 days. I want to get 2 cabins, one for the males, one for the females. Some people said they'd like to sleep outside. That's fine. Bat Mom. But whoever comes. But I think we would have a really good time. I'm going to do a live stream from there with everybody. We're going to film. I just think it's going to be amazing. Ew, grouper cheeks. Oh, Anna, I would love that so much. And we'd all take care of you. Make sure you were so super duper comfortable. All right, Miss Bat Mom, let's do this. Oh, Smoochy, thank you. That's so sweet. Smoochy, you are not purposefully sweet a lot. If we go in March, I'm staying inside. I was actually thinking I wanted to do it over the summer, but then someone was like, the weather is not going to be good in the Pine Barrens in the summer. But I'm like, in the fall, like it's going to be mosquitoes. So I was thinking spring, but spring's right around the corner and I don't think I can swing it by then. So we'll see. Maybe it will be more towards like the end of summer, maybe. Yes, that's right, Smoochy. I'm sorry. You are totally a bully. Not a nice bone in your body, girl. I won't tell. All right. Smoochie's got a rep to protect. Batmom, you got the Siren Song, card number 21, in the reverse shadow position. This song falls upon deaf ears. You have been misled before and are not so easily swayed by the enchanting melody or shiny baubles. Some might even say you're jaded or cynical and passing up some amazing opportunities in being so. Maybe today, instead of putting on noise-canceling headphones, we can give what tries to call us in a closer look. Batmom, sometimes there's something amazing being offered to us, whether it be an object, an experience, a person, etc. Suss it out and maybe give it a chance. Let your intuition be your guide on this one. Not everything that tempts us bites. Something you said to me recently, right? Almost like that. Like, not everyone is out to get you. Not everything that tempts us bites. I love that. Sometimes being too cautious makes us miss out on some of the universe's most beautiful gifts or experiences. By the way, this just popped into my head, Julie girl, because I was thinking that's going to be my Facebook status. And then I was like, oh, I have Jules on Facebook now because I did add you. Batmom, yeah, I feel like you're very, very closed off. Okay, you are closed off and you... Cliff, it's the finances, honey. The finances. We'll see if we can figure it out, though. My birthday is March 1st. I would love to have done it for then, but okay. Batmom, yeah, I feel like you're very closed off. It's like you're focused. Like I was telling Cliff, he kind of should be right now. You're very me, myself, and I. Me and mine, right? Like you're not going out of your way for anyone you don't know. You're barely going out of your way for like the people you do know, and only because they give a little to you, right? You're just done with everyone's poop. I think once we become women of a certain age, we just are, right? But this is telling you in the next 2 weeks, if you just don't give someone or something a chance. Now, here's how it's going to be bad for you, right? Because this is something good. But listen to how you're going to know. Your immediate response or reaction isn't going to be, F all that, I don't have time. There's going to be a teeny part of you that is like this little inkling of interest that you're going to try to shut down and be like, F all that, I don't have time. But your mind's going to keep going back to it. I just feel like this could be an opportunity to make money or to somehow raise your station. I don't know what that means because I'm like, raise vibration, and they're like, no, station. So maybe it's like an extra, this wig is itching me, an extra side job, or somebody trying to hire you for a different type of service where you're like, yeah, I guess I technically could do that, but then I'd have to, take time off doing my regular job. And you're like going out of your way to talk yourself out of whatever this is, but it's actually going to end up being something really good. So if there's something, an offer, an opportunity that's come in already, or that comes in the next couple of weeks, and your mind keeps thinking back to it, like you're usually able to be like, no, F all that, I don't have time, and like just keep moving. Like better than to double think something, right? You go with your first instinct, never lets you down. Not this time. And the reason for that is because whatever this opportunity is, you're supposed to accept it. Whatever the situation is, you're supposed to find yourself in it. It is for your betterment. I do see that there could be some money involved. Not 100% sure, but I do see maybe a little. I'm not saying like you're going to win $1 million or earn $1 billion, but I do see some money coming in the next couple of months, like more than what you have. Jesus, Smooch. Does it have to do with your sister that you don't like? No. No, this is new energy coming in. So it shouldn't be about or coming from anyone you know. Unless your sister comes in with like some opportunity for y'all to make money, but then you got to worry, like, this is something where like you just are going to know deep down inside that you could do it if you really wanted to, and you really want to. I feel like if it's something that's already dealing with someone you don't like, you're going to be sus. You're not going to be all in, and it's just not going to be worth your time. So no, I don't believe it has to do with her. Girl, I know. I've got one too. I have 4 sisters, but one. Who's next?
Oh, Netter. If he's still here, you better make sure he's here first.
If he's not, let's just timestamp him.
Okay.
I needed to talk to him about last week's reading, but I haven't had time this week at all. And tomorrow I've got to get up so early after going to bed late, do the basketball thing. Like, I am not going to want to do anything tomorrow but sleep. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to nap. New England Dirt Roadie. You just spit. I'm like, you spit what? I was watching all of these TikTok dates gone wrong. So this one girl, she went on this date with a guy from a dating app and they had a great time. She got like a little bit of a creep vibe, but she was like, I thought it was probably just me because I've had bad experiences with this particular dating app in the past, right? Let me tell you all this. So she goes on the date. The date was great. He gives her a kiss on the cheek at the door and leaves. Now she's like, here's my mistake. I let him know where I live. I let him pick me up and drop me off at home. She's like, about an hour later, someone's knocking on my door. Now it's getting late. I was just about to go to bed. She's like, he says that his roommate locked him out and he can't get in his house. So his roommate said he'd be home, but not for another hour. Can he hang out? She told him, you can chill on the couch, fall asleep if you want to. I'm going in my bedroom. Said she locked the door. At about 3 a.m, so like 5 hours later, dude is still there. He knocks on her bedroom door. He's like, I'm so sorry. I fell asleep. My roommate probably tried to call, but I just woke up and realized my phone died like 3 hours ago. Do you have a charger? She was not letting this dude in her room. She thought the whole situation, she felt off. So she's like, yeah, there's one in the kitchen drawer. She doesn't open the door. She doesn't unlock it. She directs him through the door to where to go to find this charger. He knocks again 10 minutes later and tells her the charger's broke. Now, this girl knows she doesn't keep broken chargers. Whenever something breaks, she throws it away. She replaces it. He's like, do you have one in your room? Can I come in and use yours? She's like, oh, give me a couple of minutes. I was just using the bathroom. He's like, okay, no sweat. She goes into the bathroom that's in her bedroom and she whispers and calls the police. The police show up. Tell me why. Dude had a tarpaulin or tarp and surgical tools laid out on her living room floor. Yeah. And you know what, I would have been like, oh, he's going to feel so bad about himself. Like, I'm going to hurt his feelings if I don't just open the door and if I treat him like he's some kind of creep. Me a couple years ago. Me now would be like, bro, I'm going to call I wouldn't even say I'm going to call the police because that'd be dangerous. Just kick my door in. There was a few of them like that. Then there are these ladies. This one lady goes on this date and the guy's filming her talking. And she's like, yeah, he's like, what are you doing? Like, the waitress came back. She's like, hold on. I need to put an order in. And the guy's like, we already ordered our food. She's like, yeah, but I got 3 children instead of children, which I loved. I love when people say children like that. She's like, my son's 12 and he eats like a beast. So I'm about to order him these 2 meals. She's like, I need those to go. She's like, my other 2. She's ordering food to go for her kids. The guy's like, hold on a minute. She's like, what? If you want to be with me, you got to support my kids. He's like, he's like, this is our first date and you didn't even ask me. Right. And she's like calling him all kinds of names, trying to shame him. And I'm like, is this what the dating scene is like? So one more, I'll tell you guys quick. There was this other lady that she went out. It was this really expensive, fancy restaurant. And she ordered 6 main courses and 3 appetizers and 4 alcoholic drinks just for herself. And the guy's like, this is our first date. He's like, I'm not trying to shame you. If you're going to eat all that, I don't care. I'll pay for it. He's like, but now you're getting to-goes. He's like, and you haven't touched 5 of these meals. He's like, do you need food in your house? Like, I would have, the guys have been pretty like, I would have helped you had you just asked. But it looks to me like you're feeding your entire family. And she's like, I'm looking like this and you're asking me why I'm ordering so much food. And these women, I mean, I'm going to be honest, in my opinion, the women are worse than the men from what I've seen. They're just so entitled and arrogant. Like, I would be so embarrassed. Like, I don't know. I went through a time where my sister and I had to go on dates to eat, but we would bring home leftovers from our food. right? Like we weren't ordering extra plates, and it was embarrassing for us to have to do that. Oh, so crazy. Hey, what's up, darling Deb girl? All right, Netter, sorry. Some of them could be, yeah. I mean, you can't ever really, find out if they're true, but they're hella entertaining. And if real, I usually get a good sense as to if anything's real or fake, scripted. The one girl was crying because she's like, the guy showed up and he came up to the table. And when I told him, like, I'm like, hi, it's me. Like, you don't recognize me from my picture. And he was like, and he gave her like an attitude, and she was bawling. I felt so bad for her. And she's like, he told me I was fat and ugly and didn't look like my pictures. She's like, the only difference is I didn't have my wig on, and she was heavy set and bald, and she would wear wigs in her pictures, and she didn't tell him, and he just fat and body shamed her for like the next 20 minutes. Oh God, my heart broke. I'm tearing up just thinking about it. All right, let me get off the TikTok dates. All right. So you got Hedgehog Love, Netter, and that actually makes sense. I'm familiar with this card. Positive, uplifting new friends. You have found a new family, a soul group of kin, friends with whom you can play, teach, laugh, and share. Groups like this hedgehog gathering are made up of individuals, but they can act as one when it comes to keeping their friends protected, safe, and feeling like they truly belong, sometimes for the first time in their lives. These hedgehogs will teach you their ways, and for a time, you'll be one of them. You are safe with these friends, and together you will laugh, play, and nourish each other with connection and kinship, that sense of being home, and a feeling of belonging that you have not had for some time. They do not ask you to be unlike your true self, just to respect their ways while you are among them. You are healing very deeply on levels that may never be fully apparent to you, but the protection you are or will soon be enjoying is allowing you to pull back your defensive armor, be totally vulnerable, and rediscover your dreams and abilities, some of which you had put away. Netter, Hedgehog Love speaks. You are like us. You have been taken, adopted, marked, and accepted by creatures who are other, disproving your belief that you're an eternal outsider. You have found kin, and you now know you can always call on your brothers and sisters. People who are real, positive, upbeat, and determined wish to hang out with you now. Join them, and let's all experience a time of play, protection, of being surrounded by loving beings. Like us, you may look different on the outside, and you may seem a bit prickly from time to time, but you just want to be safe and to be surrounded by people who accept you and bring out the best in you. You will find a true home with us despite our many differences. You will bear, physically and energetically, a mark that will help your brothers and sisters recognize you, making it easy for them to make friends with you, include you in their activities, groups, and parties, and tell you that you are loved for being who you are. No, don't take it out of context. It said it will change your perception that you are an eternal outsider. Divination, Netter, this card indicates your true family will be for a time a group of close-knit friends who look out for each other and have lots of fun times and adventures together. I always feel when someone gets this card that it's this chat. I just do. Especially Netter, knowing you and like what your personal life and friendships look like right now, I do feel like it's this chat. It's a bit of a closed group, not so welcoming to other outsiders, but its members are very protective of you and of one another as well. You may feel like you have a new adopted family, as if you were once an outcast but have now come home. You may find great relief from loneliness and isolation, or you may discover new animal friends and pets, or a group that cares deeply about animals. We know that's not me. Could be about to enter your life. While this group is very tight, your individuality is respected and also encouraged. It's very much supported. This could be a rich and exciting social time, and you will find new friends while on new adventures. Your peace of mind is developing and growing, and the more gratitude you show the world of nature, the more this deep peace will grow and endure. Even when it comes time to move on, as it shall come soon, you will be able to shift into a new environment fully protected and with a great deal of help. Your friends, old and new, are never far from you and will never abandon you. Not now that you have shared so much together. The friendships you make at this time are very loyal and will last forever. So actually, Black Dragon, as someone who knows a lot of hard of hearing and hearing impaired people, it's actually worse because most of them try to talk, and what comes out, and I'm not mocking them. I'm fluent in sign language. I love the deaf community. But what comes out is worse than having to listen to like Fran Drescher. Because they only hear like syllables. So what will come out is like, and I'm not making fun of them. That's what they sound like. You can look it up. Okay. Netter, this is what I was trying to talk to you about last week, right? Us being friends and meeting. Everybody in this chat, for the most part, that you've come to know and talk to in this chat, right? Being able, you said my Friday night is now saved, right? That means everything to me because you feel safe here, like you found your community, your tribe, which is exactly how I feel when I'm around you guys. In person, even better. What this card is saying is if you don't pull yourself away and isolate yourself from this person or these people, even if you only see us or them once a week and you and I get together twice a month and have lunch or whatever. I know. I know someone's just going to like pull that part out and say I was making fun of deaf people, but context is everything. Like, as long as you don't pull yourself away for too long, the energy, the vibes, they're going to become a part of your energy again. And you're going to start seeing things on a lot more positive level, right? Not allowing yourself to get in the way of yourself because I won't allow it and neither will they. To be able to come in here and talk about exactly what's going on, no matter how crazy it sounds. Like I talked to you about having DNA binds with werewolves in Colorado. I don't know if you believe me, but I know that I feel comfortable enough with you to tell you that that's the message I got. That's what I saw for you and why I tried to convince you as best I can to get out of there, right? That kind of comfort. Where like most people would be like, this kooky B word, like I'm not even going to, but that's why we all fit together. So this is telling you don't pull away from this new friend or these new friends, this new group, because they're detrimental to your growing and evolving as a spiritual being, but also in your humanity, in your life every day. Who's next?
Private chat. Right, to call the next person. Jules is next.
Julie girl. All right. So for anyone who's new or like waiting for a reading, just so you guys know, if you're not a member, it's $2 donation to my PayPal or Cash App or $4 through Super Chat or Super Sticker. Now I have a couple bucks to do readings. Actually, I have enough for 2. At the end, if you wait till the very, very end, if I have enough time, I'll call on people who weren't able to or didn't want to pay. The extra money is for people who really cannot make the donation. So if you feel like you've been skipped, you've got to let me know if you're not a member and you want a reading that you did put the donation in. Like I believe Max definitely said that he did. And there was one other person, Josephine, that I may have read for. But anybody else, yeah, it's only $2. And only because, like, this is how I get my money for the weekend. I only get paid by YouTube once a month. So just so everyone knows, if anyone's listening, like, hey, I was in here like an hour ago, that's absolutely why. And if you say, like, hey, I can't donate this week, that will be perfectly fine. You just have to wait until the end. And if you can't do that, I will squeeze you in. Like, I will do what I can, and Ghost, we'll go out of our way to make sure that everybody who needs and wants a reading gets one. But if you're able to donate, go ahead and do that. If you can't, you know, as long as you don't do it every single week, we're good to go. Most people just become members because it's easier and you end up saving $3 at the end of the month. But I prefer some people not to be members because then I get no, like I made $2 last week. And I'm like, the whole point is to make money, but I do make that money at the end of the month, so I can't complain. Got chills, multiply, excited for my reading. All right, girl, I got you. That's really annoying.
Thank you.
I noticed that when I go back and listen. There's no more. I have another one, but I'm not going to drink another whole Red Bull. I'll just have my water. All right, Jules. We're going to use the divine circus. Well, Bobby, you wait to the end, which is why it's not ever like an issue. We just wanted people to know, like, we're not skipping them. You know what I'm saying? Like, the reason is if you can't or won't donate, you just have to wait until the end. That's not a problem. I will never turn someone away for not being able to pay. I'm a messenger. I can't do that, right? So, Life with Bobby, if you want a reading, you get a reading. I'm talking about someone coming in and being like, you know, I've been waiting forever and being not cool about it. You got to be cool, man. You got to be cool with us. I will do anything for you, but I ain't taking no poop no more. Aw, Ant-Man. I know, Julie girl. It was calling your name. Actually, I'm going to keep shuffling now. Oh!
While you're shuffling, did Michigan want reading?
They said they're just chilling.
Okay.
I offered them a reading.
Okay.
Those are my peoples. Joker is wild, Jules. 6 months. Oh, yeah. You always do. Everybody donates when they can. I'm never complaining. I know sometimes it sounds like I am, but I'm just complaining about being broke, not about you guys not donating. I know the heart of everyone in here and that you guys do what you can when you can. So if you could just listen to me gripe a little bit, it's cool. You guys always do what you can, and I love that. And I do appreciate it. All right, yeah, Miss Julie girl, this is your card. Strap yourself in and prepare for the ride of a lifetime. The Joker has come to you, and the Joker is wild. Unpredictable and brilliant, she brings you a message. You are being empowered to overcome all odds. So you are going to win, no doubts, no dramas, but not necessarily in a way that you expect. She's sending the best possible situation to you even now. It might startle you like a sudden light in the middle of the night, but it will be welcome nonetheless. The Joker is the highest trump, the card to beat all others. No matter how much another may seem to have the upper hand or how many forces seem to be against you, Julie girl, even if you feel like a lone wolf about to be mauled by a pack of hungry lions, the Joker always wins, and that's in italics. She comes out of the blue and changes destiny from darkness to light. She brings a brilliant solution that ends a problem, the way through that is best and brightest. You probably won't see it coming. It will probably be in a way that subverts everything you once believed to be true, but it will be a welcome trick by the universe, a loving joke that opens your heart and helps you realize that this vast impersonal universe personally knows and cares for you so intimately and with such meticulous care. Just don't expect to feel in control of the process, for the Joker is wild and moves according to her own genius, but always blesses you with what will work best beyond compare now and always. I do feel like, I know, Members Club. I do feel like, Deb, you're so cute. I do feel like you could, in the next couple of weeks, feel like nothing is like really working out. Like things, I don't feel like you feel like depressed, like nothing ever works out for me, but it's just like, this is so strange. Like I did X, Y, and Z, like I knew I was supposed to, and this hasn't come to fruition yet. Or, you know, I did A, B, and C like I was supposed to, and this hasn't happened yet. Like, what am I missing? What you're missing is just sitting back and letting the universe work. Stop meddling in your own life, Jules. In the next couple of weeks, the Joker says to you, you know, I'm a wild card. So you never know how you're going to need me, how I'm going to work in your life. But best believe I will work towards you winning, right? This is like when you play Uno and you hold the wild card until your Uno card. That way, no matter what, you'll win. And it's really, really hard to do because you have to pick up 47 cards and you know you have that wild, right? But you hold it anyway because you know at the end you're going to throw that card out and there's going to be nothing anyone can do. I hope that makes sense. That's this. It's like you're doing everything you can. Behold, Mike. Everything that you can, everything you can think of, you're trying to remain positive and being like a steady force of light and love and peace. And it's just like, why isn't it happening? Because it's not time yet. but it almost is. And that's why this card is appearing, Jules. It's telling you in the next 1 to 2 months, do your very, very best to take things as they come. This is a new lesson I've been learning too, to be like getting mad, angry, frustrated, upset, not going to change the weather. Not going to force someone to treat me with respect and dignity. Worrying, what am I going to end up doing on my birthday this year? Sitting at home in a power outage by myself? Oh no, that was last year. You know what I mean? So realizing that I just need to be like, okay, well, the universe is going to provide for me. The universe is going to work all these little details that I can't see out. And that's hard because as light workers specifically and empaths, we are worriers. But Jules, you have nothing to worry about. This is actually very, I don't like the word good luck, bad luck, but to put it in those terms, for lack of better terms, this is such good luck coming in. And you're going to see like, bam, shift, bam, shift, bam, shift. It's like, this thing isn't working out. I should walk away. Oh my gosh, it's working out. You know, this person isn't worth my time. I'm just going to go some, oh my gosh, look what they just did, right? Like it might even be to the point where you have yourself second guessing yourself, which is actually going to be a good thing, because then it's like, oh, well, I was about to give up right before the miracle happened, right? They say that in NA and AA in recovery. Don't give up before the miracle happens. I used to hate when they would say that, but it makes so much sense now that I know what the universe does for us. Jules, this is an amazing card. Don't get down. Don't get down on yourself. And specifically, don't get down on your higher self, your spirit team, Melvin, and the universe, because they have got something amazing in store for you. And I feel like it's really going to bring you out of your shell and energetically not only raise, but align you as well. Oh, Max, thank you so much. Max says, I come here to hear Gemma's voice. Love her voice. You always say that, and it always reminds me of how terribly I was picked on when I first started live streaming about my voice specifically.
Okay, next is Max. I'm sorry, then Nut Slap.
Max, I'm going to use Halloween for you as well. Just believe in yourself, make it happen. We all can do this. Believe it will happen, and it will. That's so true. That's the hardest thing. Like, no, we can't. Our conscious mind is, I talked about this in the toxic positivity video. Our conscious mind isn't the only thing that makes up our vibration, which is why we can't just say, I have $1 million and $1 million appears, right? But we can say, I'm going to earn $1 million. Nutter, talk to me about that privately. We could probably get a group together, maybe. Keep it simply stupid. I always say fear. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. Love that. I have $1 million. Yeah. And you can do that too. I just feel like people think then the million has to appear right in front of you right then magically and out of the ether, or it's all a bunch of BS, because that's what a certain person says to me, you know, sky is purple. Oh, must be. And like, it doesn't work that way. Or when people are like, oh, you're a psychic. Because I'm always like, I'm not a psychic, right? But that's not really true, because all mediums are psychics, but all psychics are not mediums. I just don't really work with that energy. I prefer to be called an oracle. So you'll hear me say I'm not a psychic, because people will be like, if you're a psychic, then what color underwear am I wearing? It doesn't work that way. It's energetic. You're wearing your mama's pink thongs. I don't know. All right, Max, you got spider, community, and web weaving. I prefer it to appear. A girl, me too. Big facts. Yeah, I got lost in the woods for 8 hours going geocaching. So, because I thought you can walk in the woods as the crow flies. Yep. All right, spider. She spins her silk alone in the dark with hope of collection, sticky with dreams, weaving the worlds, a worldwide web of connection. Masses of sticky spider webs make any Halloween decorations complete. The idea of a haunted house covered in the artwork of a big hairy spider is classic horror. Even those of us who appreciate our eight-legged friends still hurriedly brush off those stealthy webs if we run into them in the dark. Although most spiders are not venomous, humans have an innate fear of them. Perhaps it's the fangs or the poison. Perhaps it's all those legs or the way they move. Perhaps it's where they live, often in dark, hidden places, or the way our Western popular culture has demonized them by making them giant, fierce, and man-eating. There is a race. Oh, Jules, I'm sorry. I forgot. She has arachnophobia really bad. Sorry. There is a race of extraterrestrial spiders, and they're kind of like warmongery, and they overtake planets. And that's why a lot of humans have this ingrained, innate fear of spiders, even if it's not as bad as having actual arachnophobia. It's because we've lived on these planets before that have been overtaken by these giant house-sized spiders. Some cultures, though, revere the spider in very positive ways. In many Native American traditions, for example, the spider is the creature that gives birth to all other animals and sustains the web of life. The goddess spider grandmother, and there's also a spider woman, is a key deity that brings wisdom, safety, and communication to all tribes. She created and wove all the stars in the sky and makes soft webs for those that are troubled to rest upon and be supported by. Spiders' webs can be seen as a symbol of connection, not necessarily entrapment. Sorry, Max. Netter, that is an amazing idea. What Blue Cross Road just said. I'm just saying, like, that would be so good for you. For the both of you, actually. There's a fine line sometimes between a family or community supporting us and controlling us. This card looks at this discernment. Max, it also suggests you review the way you communicate with the wider community at work or generally with others and take steps to improve this or do it slightly differently. It also indicates that there needs to be a balance between what you do for yourself and what you do for others. If we give too much to the outside, our strength diminishes and we cannot weave the supporting web for ourselves. I just keep hearing, what? Boy, bye. Netter, I'm going to pretend you didn't say that. Darling Deb, we've got to do a video chat. Max, I feel more of like a web, like what a tangled web we weave. Like I keep hearing that. I feel like this is the universe telling you not to get caught up in something that really has nothing to do with you. Someone's trying to use you as like a tool. So I would say in the next couple of weeks, be very careful of people that are coming in from your past, whether it be ex-lovers, ex-friends, family members you don't talk to or haven't spoken to in a while. It's like this manipulation is very toxic manipulation. And if you don't know no, Max, I'm serious. Like if you don't know what this is in the next couple of weeks, just pay attention to people actively trying to manipulate you to like meet their own ends. I feel like you're vulnerable to this only because there may be one area of your life that you feel is significantly lacking. So just for example, say that you haven't been in a romantic relationship in a while, right? And you know, you meet someone on a dating app and it goes crazy, like the stories I was just telling, but you still go back for more because like you're so lonely and vulnerable. I'm not saying you are. I'm just using this as an example. You're so lonely and vulnerable and you just like want that connection. So you're willing to take less than what you know you deserve. Same thing at a job, or maybe there's a job offer coming in that you really, really want and you've been looking forward to, but you know what you're worth. No matter what it is, reconnecting with a family member you haven't spoken to, standing up for yourself with someone who's attacking your politics. It's time for you to really step up and be like, you know, I know what I'm worth. I'm not going to be talked to like this. I'm not going to be treated like that. Like matching energy of people, regardless of whether or not it's going to hurt their feelings. And I'm getting very passionate because I struggle with this very, very much. Not worrying first about how the other person or people is going to feel about what you have to say, but worrying first about how they just made you feel and your right to stand on business and stand up for yourself. I feel like the next couple of weeks through to the next couple of months and forward, really, it's like a lifelong learning process. You're going to really have to start standing up for yourself. And if you don't, you're going to be manipulated into something that I think is going to be really bad for you. And you might be like, Gems, I have no idea what you're talking about. Trust me, you will. Trust me, you will. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
Okay, Nut Slap is next. Call his name and see if he shows up. If he doesn't, do Kelly Lewis and we'll timestamp him later.
Well, let's do Kelly anyway, because Nut Slap could wait and Kelly sometimes has to leave.
Okay.
Kelly, I'm using Raven's Wand. We're supposed to be getting another snowstorm. I just hope we can go to basketball tomorrow. I've got RJ's principal coming. So, and he went last week, but RJ was sick. So I wasn't able to get a hold of him because I could only email him, but he went. But there's like 30, 40 other kids from his school, kindergarten through second grade, that play basketball there. So he got to see them, but he didn't get to see my little guy. So he's going to be there tomorrow. I finally got me a soaking tub. I'm thinking about doing ice bath. Although with my health, like I can't complain physically. It's just like the dead energy. All right, baby dragon. Do you, honey. If I have to, I'll just timestamp you. That's my favorite. When the shower's separate from the tub. I don't know why. I think because I just love baths. And it gives me the ick that people, like everyone pees in the shower. You could say you don't, but you'd be a liar. And I know my son does. I haven't done that probably since I was 21. All right. Sorry, Kelly. Daisy and the Dandelion. In the upright. We almost done? No, I'm not in a rush. I'm just curious. Oh, Divine, no worries, baby girl. Have a great time, and we will see you next week. Don't forget to check out Monday's pre-recorded.
You got 5 plus your timestamps, which is right now 4. So you have 9 left.
Plus timestamps.
Huh?
Plus timestamps?
Plus, that's including you have 9 left. 4 of those are timestamps.
Okay. Kelly, the dandelion is very happy to have his tummy tickled. He knows how to enjoy simple pleasures and doesn't mind showing it. Let his appearance in your reading remind you to make room for fun in your life. He's encouraging you to plunge into that soft bed of dandelion seeds and scatter them just for the thrill of it. Go on. No one's looking. Kelly. I think we're all lacking a bit of fun for the most part, right? Even with having... You want me to repeat the whole thing? Even with having a 6-year-old, I'm still lacking fun a lot of the time. All right, I'm going to read it one more time, so pay attention. The dandelion is very happy to have his tummy tickled. He knows how to enjoy simple pleasures and doesn't mind showing it. Let his appearance in your reading remind you to make room for fun in your life. He's encouraging you to plunge into that soft bed of dandelion seeds and scatter them just for the thrill of it. Go on. No one's looking. No, don't say that. Bad netter. I don't want to think about it because I don't want to produce it in my mind. I hate the boot ruining snow. Plus, I don't get any work done. All right, Kelly, anyway. This is literally, I have like 3 or 4 cards out of 200 and some odd decks that have this message. And this is literally have fun. You are lacking fun in your life to a degree where it's like everything is so serious that you may not even be able to take a joke anymore. And if you don't understand, you will in the next couple of weeks. I feel like it's kind of been what we call one thing after another, after another, after another. To now it's like you always have to focus on the next bomb that's going to drop or shoe that's going to drop or, you know, what's behind door number 3. This is the universe telling you that if you really look around and take a step back and focus your energy on your blessings, right? The blessings in your life, the simple things, right? I always have to remind myself of my physical health and the health of my children. Biggest blessings in my world. I've got a roof over my head, right? This is the universe telling you to please look at the small blessings in your life, the gentle blessings that the universe has provided that you've really written into your chart for yourself, because I do feel like you've had a hard run of things. Now, the message is very clear and very simple. And again, I don't have many cards like this. Out of 220 something decks I think I have now, there's like 4 or 5 cards that say, have fun. Doesn't matter what it is you're doing. Me, I love bowling, and I love when I'm cleaning my house and no one's here, singing at the top of my lungs and dancing while I clean. I'm literally a cleaning, like a Clorox bleach wipe commercial. Like, I just love it, right? I rage clean, but I also happy clean. Cleaning makes me happy. I also really love doing laundry because I like seeing dirty things get clean. I love the sound of the crackling when the rug is dirty and you get to vacuum it up and you hear all the crackle, crackle. Honestly, like, I love those things. Those types of things. The universe is like, isn't it so amazing that you have a house that you can vacuum, even if you don't own your home? Isn't it so amazing that you have, a child that you can, I'm just using my life as an example, have a dinner date with? Isn't it so great that you're not dealing with cancer and all of these other diseases and diseases? Even if it's just recognizing that in the next couple of weeks, having these more positive thoughts are going to turn a lot of the so-called negative things that you are perceiving in your life right now. They're going to turn them around, even if ever so slightly. So you can either see them as blessing in disguise or just things that are going to happen regardless of how you feel and what you do about it, right? What happens to know what, honey? No, I was using like things that I think as an example for like the small things that might be in your life, like things like that. The universe just wants you to focus on the small things. And if you get the opportunity to go out, like for my birthday, for example, my mom friends were like, you're not staying home all night. We're taking you to dinner. And they booked a reservation like 2 months ago, right then and there. They're like, you're going out. I'm like, okay, great. That was amazing because the past 7 years, my husband doesn't really recognize my birthday. He will, but it'll be at like 2 the next morning. And it's a very bizarre situation. But those things, like, wow, I have you guys that I can lean on. There has been a lot going on with you that could seem more negative, but I'm going to tell you this exercise that I've said in here many times. Take 20 seconds and look around the room you're in and find 3 things that are blue. All right, three blue things in your mind. All right. Now tell me the 3 red things you saw without looking again. You were so focused on blue, you may or may not have seen 3 red things. And even if you saw it, it was subconsciously because you were consciously focusing on the blue, with the blue being the negative and the red being the positive, if that makes sense. Genetic. What did I say, Cliff? Yeah, darling Deb, I think it is. It's like an overall general, just like we have got to stop taking everything so seriously, even the serious things, because at the end of the day, we only have so much control over it. And at the end of the day, if we're that worried and frustrated and even angry or upset by it, we're not going to make the best decisions to move forward from these things. So it's best to just say, this really effing sucks. I hope you know what you're doing, and I'm going to go play Fortnite now. Because that's what I like to do, right? I'm going to go film a YouTube short so half the people control me, the other half can talk about my looks, and the rest of my gemstones can laugh and be like, Gemma's crazy. Who's next? Well, thank you, Max. I finally believe that about myself. I'm not perfect by any means, but I have changed every inch of my inside and out in the last, I'd say, 6 years. And for it to just go completely unnoticed really sucks. You know, well, you've changed. Well, yeah, I was 86 pounds and dying back then. So what are we doing? Oh, Kelly, no problem. It's okay. It wasn't like it was a big, long thing. I was just like, never been asked that before. Don't worry about it, sweetie.
Next is Darling Deb.
Deb, I'm going to use Alice, the Wonderland Oracle. Kelly, you're so funny. Black Dragon, when I was a little girl, that was my favorite song. That song and that song by the Pet Shop Boys, West End Girls. I don't know why. When I was like 5 or 6 years old, I used to run around singing those songs. All right, we're doing this. Sorry, a card flew out. All right, Miss. Okay, I'm not going to do this. Deb, in the reversed shadow position, you got card number 45, Such a Curious Dream. Yeah, the crazy gene. Oh, I told you, if this is someone that I'm related to, avoid, abort mission. Like, because I know where she's at because I was there. Oh, for sure. And the crazy cleaning gene as well, because my sister has it. I'd be like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm so mad right now. I'm deep cleaning my kitchen. And I'm like, oh. What's up, Carly? No, don't be sorry. Don't worry about it. I think after you, we're going to put a cork in it, but I always say that and then I feel bad. So, but you're good. Don't worry. Darling Deb, Such a Curious Dream. This is grounding, returning to reality, and coming home. From time to time, the connection, Deb, gets like less the less we talk. Like, I used to have Tennille's guides with me all the time too, because she's my best friend too. And like, we don't talk as much because she's really sick and I'm going through a lot. But like every time she texts me or we're talking, just like with you, they're here, right? But the energy is a lot less. So that's why I said we've got to do a video reading. Eastern boys and Western girls. I used to think that they were called the Ketchup Boys. I'm a child of the 80s. Actually, I would say 90s, really. I was born in 83, so. All right, Deb. Oh, I've had such a curious dream, said Alice, and she told her sister, as well as she could remember them, all these strange adventures of hers. And when she had finished, her sister kissed her and said, It was a curious dream, dear, certainly. But now run into your tea. It's getting late. We often have remarkable moments, just as Alice does when she begins her journey by following the white rabbit. But just as we must follow the dream, we must also return to the everyday. In this card, at this moment, you are being asked to return to what many people might consider ordinary. You must take care of yourself, eat well, go home, be grounded, and take care of what must be taken care of, the ordinary and yet blessed responsibilities within our lives. There is still great magic in this, especially after journeying through our own wonderland and knowing true enchantment, for we can return, but we're forever changed. Now it's time to ground. Deb, come home, integrate the experiences you've had, and do the very simple, mundane tasks that most people don't consider special enough to have any magic at all within them. But they are magic, dear soul. They are. It actually says deal soul, but it's dear. I'm going to be 42. I feel old. My oldest will be 26 this year. Let every simple act be done with awareness, simplicity, gratitude, and kindness. Don't be dissatisfied with the seemingly mundane nature of it all. Instead, embrace this coming back to earth as an opportunity to ground, reconnect, and to bring a sense of the sacred, of the magic of Wonderland to all that you do. No matter how humble it may be, you will return to the extraordinary place again, but for now, embrace the joy of being at home within your humanity. And this is similar to what I just, I know, Deb, I know. Similar to what I just said to Kelly. Her card was like, have fun. This is more of like, focus on the small blessings and the fun in them, right? Or at least like, I know for me, when I really focus on the things that I consider blessings, for me, it's a relief. I spent a lot of my life not knowing where I was going to sleep that night, or knowing how I was going to eat, or, so for me, it's like, okay, I have a roof over my head. Now, unfortunately, that's used as like collateral against me a lot of the time, but I'm like, I know, like, I'm good, I'm here. My biggest dream when I was in addiction was to be able to be a mom, because I didn't have my kids then. They were growing up without me. And then I got to have RJ. So when I get frustrated, like, oh, I just want a minute to myself, I have to remember, like, no, that kid is my prayer answered, right? In the reverse, this means wanting to hold on to an experience and not return to the everyday, wishing to live in wonderland rather than experiencing it and bringing its magic into your everyday world, becoming ungrounded and disconnected, feeling drawn to fantasy, and being susceptible to illusions. I just feel like what this is saying, to be honest, yes, get your foundations organized and focus on your own magic. And I'm talking real magic, the stuff that we did, closing the portals in your house, dealing with attachments, and all of the supernatural stuff, but we didn't focus on you. We wanted to get all that done first, and not that much change, which I did tell you that might happen, because once free will gets involved, the free will might go right back down that same path, but at least you don't have dead people wandering like a, what is it called? Conveyor belt through your home. This is you focusing on the magic of you, of just who you are by being who you are. Getting your poop together, which I feel like you do have your act together, very much so, to the point where I wish I had enough time to sit with you every once in a while and, like, you can help me budget and schedule and, talk to me on the phone for 5 minutes a day. For my ex, Damien's father, before he passed away, tried to do this. He's like, let me call you for 5 minutes a day for 1 week. Then we'll go to 8 minutes, then 12. You've got to get, if you want to be a professional person, you have to get used to talking on the phone. And I just couldn't do it, right? But those are things that you can help me with, that you've always offered, right? This is you also, though. Don't miss the message of focusing on Deb. Okay? And the things and people that are important to you. Not the things and people you feel like you need to save or that you need to, like, protect. Just the people you enjoy conversing with, playing a game of cards. I don't know why playing cards popped into my head, but there it is. Genuinely just spending time with people who aren't draining you, so that you can get your life and your mind and your energy back into the perspective of living for Deb. And we still will. Thank you, Max. Yeah, it was the hardest thing I ever had to do, but the choice was pretty simple, right? Because I was be a mother to my son or stay doing what I was doing. So I always tell him, when you get older, mommy's going to tell you how you saved my life. That kid adores me. And it, like, to me, it's like crazy, right? Because I'm like, sometimes I don't feel so good about myself. And, but everything, like, he draws me little pictures. Like, his New Year's resolution this year was to help my mom. And his Thanksgiving, he was thankful for my mom because she's so nice to me. I'll be laying there and I'll fall asleep before him because he sleeps with me. And I'll wake up to him, like, kissing my cheek and being like, my beautiful mommy, my soulmate, my best mommy in the world, right? And I'm just like, where did this kid come from? But I was always a sweet kid like that too, until it was abused out of me, or neglected out of me, I should say. All right, who's next? Yeah, good. Okay. Deb, you're welcome. I'm sorry, Stephen. I do that every time. Go ahead.
The next, what I'm going to do is, the next three people are paying people. That is Baby Dragon, Carly Schultz, and Black Dragon. And then the rest are people that you, if
okay,
you want to.
Yeah, let's do it that way.
You said you would give one to Life with Bobby. So let's do Life with Bobby.
Well, everyone's going to get one. I'm just saying, if you can't donate, then you just got to wait till the end. That's,
well, I'm just saying. Yeah, okay, I was going to say fill-ins.
Yeah, what order are we going in then? Because first you said Baby Dragon, then you said Life with Bobby.
Well, those were the ones that I knew that, were guarantees.
Okay, so why don't we do them first, and then we'll do the rest, and then we'll do timestamps.
That sounds fine. That's why I said what I said.
Baby Dragon.
You're the boss.
I'm using Dark Goddess. Well, Life with Bobby, if you genuinely don't want one, then that's okay. But if you want one, it's not an issue. I planned on reading for you. So it's like with Cindy Norris, I kind of have my regulars that I just read for. So that's totally up to you. You're here every week. You support the channel. You leave comments. You like the video. You know, that gets as far as money sometimes too, because it helps push the channel out. So I don't ever want anyone to feel like negated by just being here, because if you guys were not here viewing this, none of it would mean anything, because there'd be no one to receive the messages. So if that's actually the case, then I respect that. But if you want a reading, you are more than welcome to have one. Not an issue. We've got plenty of time. It's only 9:30 where I'm at. So, all right. I'm going to have to cover this because YouTube is so juvenile. Baby Dragon, you got Heine Nui Tipu. I'm going to call her Heine Tipu. Not to be funny, but simply because I don't know how to pronounce it. And I don't know that I've ever pulled this card before. Lies, betrayal, hurts, and pain, won't believe or hope again. Release all doubt, for 'tis a must. Seize the truth and learn to trust. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. When trust is broken, when what you thought was true reveals itself to be otherwise, it can feel like the whole world is upside down, that day is night, and all hope is lost. The very idea of continuing on in life can seem so fraught with emptiness and loneliness that you question the point of your very existence. Baby Dragon, you must trust in this goddess. Do not look back in anger, but go with her now through the darkness, and you'll come out the other side again. This goddess has sacrificed much in order to spare you the worst of it. Sometimes it's through a lack of understanding that we're left in the dark. So if you need to ask questions, do so for the truth, no matter how painful the answers are going to be, or might be, sorry. It's better than a lifetime. Oh, no, I'm sorry. How painful now. It's better than a lifetime of not knowing or living a lie. This goddess is a reminder of your inner strength. Others can benefit from what you've lived through. You're being given a second chance. Walk away from a bad situation now. Learn to trust your gut feelings. Don't dwell on the past. Learn from your mistakes, but don't take the blame for the mistakes of other people. Speak up before it's too late. Someone will surprise you. Cliff, yeah, because it came up as my niece's name. And I was like, ooh, that's weird, because I was upset last week and I was like, nah. So now I know that's your number and I can definitely put it in as you. It's not that I didn't want to get back to her. I just didn't really know what to say. So thank you for clarifying that. Aw, you're so sweet, Max. You guys are all amazing. Baby Dragon, this is going to be a hard lesson to hear, or a hard message to hear. Not because it's bad, but because it's just empty words unless you like really put effort and energy towards doing what the card is suggesting. You are a strong, powerful woman. I know your father very well. I don't know your mom very well, but I talked to her like once, I think, through text. You come from very strong stock, right? I have so much respect for your mom. I always ask your dad how she is. You're going to get, I'm tearing up. Here we go. I went the entire stream without crying this time. You're going to get through whatever this is. I feel like one of the ways, Max, that's so sweet. One of the ways you can start trying to move forward from a very bad, heartbreaking, whatever the case may be, negative situation is by simply telling yourself that that's it, right? There is literally nothing you can do about it. Even if you have to focus on, you know, I've got kids to raise, I can't be worried about this. That's what I tell myself all the time. You know what? I can't be worried about this mess, what this dude's doing, because I got to focus on my baby, right? I have a grown son going through the breakup of his first love. You know, it's a lot. So I focus on being a mom and being a content creator and entertaining you guys to the best of my ability. I throw myself into work. There has to be something here you focus on besides whatever this really bad thing was that has happened or that's happened. And there could be more than one thing. But the thing is, they've already happened. If they're still affecting your life, you have to look at why. Is there unfinished business? And if so, I wouldn't even suggest going back and finishing it. It's like, just release it and walk away. I would say write a couple of lines. I wouldn't say a whole like 10-page letter, but if that's what you need to do, do it to whoever has hurt you the most, that still like that energy is lingering on you. Take it outside and burn it and let it blow in the breeze. You have got to release this pain, this betrayal. It's all over you. And that's why other things don't seem to be really working out. It's like they're about to work out and then suddenly, boom, the black cloud comes around and it's bad luck again. That's not what it is. It's that this betrayal energy, betrayal is very, very strong. It's one of the most strong, if that's how you say that. It's one of the strongest negative emotions, the feeling of betrayal, even more so than anger, believe it or not. Anger is fear's bodyguard. Betrayal is anger's mama, right? Heartbroken over how her kid turned out. Seriously, like betrayal is... Release these emotions. If you pray, pray harder. Pray 10 times more. If you write it out, take it outside and burn it. Read it out loud so no one can hear. Release it into the universe. Say, I am releasing this. And stop taking on the burden. I know it's so easy to say. That's why I said it's going to be hard to hear. You're going to have to figure out the hows. Stop taking on everyone else's BS. If somebody let you down, that is not your fault. If somebody let one of your kids down, that is not your fault. You can only be responsible. And I know as a mom, this is like, yeah, right, like spitting in the wind. But like, it's really not your fault. You can only be responsible for your words, your actions, and your reactions. That is it. Offer as much grace as possible to the other people or person involved and to yourself. Ashley, baby dragon, you have to release the betrayal. You have to get it off your heart because it's eating you alive from the inside out spiritually. Who's next? Yeah, and Anna for sure. New England, someday, I'm telling you. Won't be in my lifetime.
Carly Schultz.
You know, Netter, that would be awesome because then you don't have to worry about, like, I know a few years ago there was like an epidemic of bed bugs in Patterson and people were throwing away furniture and they had to write like don't take on it. So I wonder if you did it that way, if like, you know, there's not like rats or roaches or something. I never take garbage furniture because I'm always scared. But the area I live in now, I would. All right, Miss Carly, let's do Oracle of the Hecatean Path. That's so funny. I'm glad that you clarified. Do me a favor, because I have 4 numbers that have her name. Text me one more time tonight and I will save it as Cliff. That'll be so much easier. Then I could just do your reading and send it to you. I have such a hard time with Messenger. It's been like 12 weeks since I said I say every week I'll go in, but you don't know what I go through with that app. The photos and the feet people, and I just can't. I can't. And exactly, I'll forgive it, but we ain't never going to be vibing the same. And Black Dragon, that's so true. It's harder to forgive yourself than it is to forgive others. Carly, they're called actually the creepy feet people. I don't know what it is about me. It's been this way since I was in my early 20s. Men, like I'm talking about like pervy men, will ask to see pictures of my feet or ask to see my feet. And it's not like once or twice. It happens so much that I can't open Messenger anymore. I think now a lot of it has to do with the fact that I've mentioned it publicly, so people think it's funny to like go in and do that. But and I'm a Pisces, so my erogenous zone is supposed to be feet. I'm a Pisces sun. I don't even like touching my own feet in the shower. Girl, in my 20s, I think I sold a pair of my dirty socks right off my feet for like $300. I don't know what it is. I have big feet for a girl too. Like I hate feet. I hate them. my curse, I guess. Is there money in it asking for a friend? Listen, I can, you know what? I'll be like, yo, I know this chick. Her name's Aunt Edna. Go ask her. Yeah, they offer money. It's just grimy. Like, it's gross. All right, cool. It's like that. There was a commercial once that's like, I use such and such bank, and now I don't have to go on sellingfootpictures.com. Not that I ever was. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh my God, that's me. It's funny, but you know, after like 15 or 20 of them in a row, it gets creepy. I don't like, again, I think now that I've mentioned it publicly, it's become a thing. But I hate feet. All right. Carly, my favorite number, card number 23. You got the Pando Terra, the All Giver, the card of abundance. Good. So, Carly, Hecate was called upon in all aspects of life, including the welfare of crops, livestock, and the fisherman's catch. Her ability to give and promote abundance is parallel to many Earth Mother figures such as Gaia, Demeter, and Rhea, but for all she can give, she can also withhold or take away. Don't expect to receive. Be gracious and avoid greed. The goddess provides, but she scolds the grasping and materialistic who seek to fill their voids with her bounty. This isn't saying you're greedy or anything like that. It's just saying don't fall into a trap of not abundance, but like having too much of something, right? I feel like there could be a risk here in the next couple of weeks for you, Carly. And again, it's not a bad thing. It happens to all of us, of going overboard with something, like too much of a good thing, right? I do feel like someone is not being 100% honest with you. And I feel like that's what your attraction to whatever this is. It's like somebody promised you something and they like kind of delivered. It's like someone promising you $1 million and showing up with 1,000 and saying, same thing. And you're like now kind of attached to this person. This is just a silly Gemma example. You're like attached to this person, like, no, wait, you said you were going to give me $1 million. Where's the rest of my money? And they're like, oh, don't worry, next week. So that keeps you on the line for another week. I feel like somebody's doing that. They're playing a game of fish with you, basically. They're fishing you. They're keeping you on a line. Well, Black Dragon, according to other women in this YouTube community, I'm the duck face selfie queen. Whatever. I spent years being 82 pounds, losing my hair. I like the way I look now, and I don't care. They could like me or not. Carly, I'm sorry. I do that all the time. Distraction. Somebody's keeping you on the line, or they will be if you don't know what I'm talking about. I feel like you kind of know, or you will know, or you already knew, like when the person was telling you they're going to do whatever this is, that they probably weren't, but like you had hope because you needed or wanted whatever this was that they were offering so badly. This is the universe saying you can do it. And not completely. It took me a while to realize that. It took me a while to realize that's also why I'm treated the way I am by a certain other somebody as well. Carly, bear with me. It's the end of the night. You can do or gain or obtain, achieve, accomplish whatever this person or these people have promised you all on your own. You just have to believe that you can. I feel like allowing yourself, like somewhat knowingly, like there's part of you, again, that doesn't want to accept it because you're like, nope, this person's really going to give me that $1 million. I know it. I need it so bad. Like part of you still has a little bit of hope for whatever this situation is, but your instinct, your intuition, and even your mind, they're like, your heart's not in it. You're like, I know this is crap, but what else do I have to do? Well, what you can do is turn around and work as hard as you can to gain or achieve whatever this is for yourself. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Carly, whatever's being promised to you, and if you don't know what I'm talking about in the next couple of weeks, someone is going to tell you like, oh, I could do that. Like, don't worry, or I got that. They don't. Someone is not being entirely honest. They're going out of their way for some reason to try to like impress you, probably because they want something that you have. Carly, I totally understand. My self-worth is very low a lot of the times. I get it. When I'm in here, it's not. Like because I'm around people that have great energy that I love and care for, and that love and care for me. So try to surround yourself, even if it's one person, with people or somebody who makes you feel good. Because we're always going to have people in our lives that try to bring us down. Because I'm how I am with my ability, I know a family member that I do post a lot of selfies on Facebook, a lot. I'll post like 50 a week sometimes. And I just, whatever, I use them for thumbnails. So, and I do use them professionally on my business cards and stuff. But anyway, I know this person, they're writing, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful, slay girl. Oh my God, gorgeous." And I can hear them at the same time they're typing this out to me, telling other people, "Oh, look at her. Who does she think she is?" You know what I mean? Like this disingenuous support. You don't need all that. You don't have to be that desperate and that disillusioned to feel good. Let it come from the inside. It took me years to love myself, to understand who I really was, what I wanted and needed out of life, and to understand that the way people treat me has nothing to do with me. The toxic narcissist in my life, that has to do with his shame for not being able to follow through with the promises that he's made, his jealousy because I'm much more successful, I feel, than he is, even if not financially so, because I'm more responsible, because, you know, all of these things from the 86-pound drug addict he met 10 years ago, right? I feel very hated, right? And I feel like I'm taking on some of that from you. There is no one and nothing that's worth being around if you don't absolutely have to be, that makes you feel that way. If it's a situation where you absolutely must be around the person, what's up, Heather? Emotionally detach as best you can until you can find a different solution. All right, Carly, you got this. You are amazing and you're wonderful. And one of the ways I know that is because I read energy. And also, you wouldn't have lasted in here this whole time if you didn't have great energy, because we would have sniffed you out and you would have not vibed with us. You got this. Oh, Heather, do you know which card was yours? I think you were number 1. Yeah, you got this. You were the first card, honey. All right, who's next?
Black Dragon, and then whoever you want to take, Life with Bobby and all them. So
Life with Bobby's insisting she doesn't want a reading.
Okay. So do Black Dragon, then we'll do timestamps.
All right. Black Dragon, I'm using Angels and Ancestors. All right, Heather, cool. Heather, girl, you're always welcome. You light up the room. Carly Schultz, you are so welcome. Thank you for coming in and for giving me a chance and having faith. But you got this. You're stronger than you believe you are. Believe you're stronger than you think you are. You got this. Things will always work out for us in the end because we're honest and genuine, and we offer grace, and we know we're not perfect and we own it. You can do those things. You're going to be just fine, no matter what life throws at you. It's all about the lessons we learn through the pain and suffering we go through. We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And I am you, Ann Rowe. Blue, I got most of that. Yeah, Heather, and there's always going to be dark forces or lower vibrational people that are going to take advantage of it. So we can choose to never trust anyone again and be alone, you know, which is okay for some people, or we can choose to open our hearts, but just to stop avoiding red flags. I stuttered on that. Like something did not want me to say that. Oh, that's awesome, Carly. Well, we're here every week at 7:15 Eastern, usually at 7, but I say 7:15 in case I'm running late. Just keep your heart open, but protected. And don't ignore red flags. That is like the main lesson, though, isn't it? Because I think if we think about any bad situations we're in, every single one of us could think of a point where we ignored red flags. My spirit team came out and told me, enjoy this while it lasts. You've got like 2 weeks of bliss left. And I was like, I could have left and just been like, no, but the part of me that needed love so badly was like, nah, I'll take my chances. It's really good now. We're damaged from the world. And I'm truly starting to believe that when we die here, we don't pass away. Being here is our passed away. Where we're actually supposed to be, where we're living, is on the other side, whether you call it heaven, the other side, paradise, whatever it is. And then when we pass there, quote unquote, which we have to do every once in a while, we come in to learn things and then go back to actually living. This is our death here. Because our spirit never dies, just the human part. So what is really death? This. I don't know. That's a deep one, I know. All right, Black Dragon, you got the Magic Guardian. Unlock the magic within. And of course, we're talking about magic with a K, which distinguishes spiritual magic from magic with a C, which is stage magic and magicians. Black Dragon, stop looking outside of yourself and recognize that you have incredible power within. This is exactly what we're talking about. Magic with a K is the energy of the universe that allows you to manifest and create through the direction and power of your own will. It changes according to your frequency. The Magic Guardian is a representation of the angel of magic who helps you direct your will to bring something into creation. She's the angel who swirls around shamans and wise ones when they are calling on the energy of magic to help them manifest something that will be healing and supportive of their path. She is the angel of all magic who is directed for the highest good of whoever's working with it. You are the magic. You are the answer, and you have it all within you. If you've been searching for an answer or a reason to focus, recognize that all that you are looking for is already within you. You are a powerful and magical person with the capacity to direct your intentions and will your desires into being. But your power can only be powerful if and when you own it. So take time to acknowledge it. Your ability to dedicate yourself to a goal and make it happen is a real gift that you are being guided to recognize now. So, sweet dreams, Julie girl. Love you. I'm sorry about the thing. I forgot. I will try to remember for next time and I just won't show it. I love you, girl. So, Black Dragon, this is exactly what we're just talking about. Manifesting the best for ourselves by understanding that we need to manifest the best for ourselves. Nobody else is going to hand us anything, even someone who makes us so happy, right? That they complete us as a person or a soul. We still have to put the work into ourselves. We can't pour everything into another person or into other people. But as flawed humans, we make that mistake. This card is simply telling you, like, all of the answers you're seeking, like, you already have them. Now, whether or not you're willing to accept them, like, sometimes we don't want to accept things just yet because we don't want to have to take the next steps. That's perfectly fine, as long as you don't procrastinate for too long, and as long as you understand that the answers you seek are there. So if there's something that's bothering you that you're worried or wondering about, sit with spirit for a little bit. If you're not a person who can meditate, I know this might be weird for a guy, maybe not. Take a bath. Throw some pink Himalayan salt or some black witch salt into a bath, soak for like 10-15 minutes, and when you get out, air dry. That'll leave the salt to protect you. I feel like that could stop some of the psychic attack you might be under. I don't know who, there's a person in your life. Honey, I'm like procrastinators meeting indefinitely postponed in this brain all day long. I feel you. So, Black Dragon, I feel like there is someone in your life. I don't know if they're in your immediate vicinity, but they're kind of like circling. I didn't read for Nut Slap yet. Circling around you. Where like, I feel like they know that you're like higher vibrational. Like you're light scaring their demons. And like you're always going to have an issue with this person. And you kind of know that, but you're hesitant to cut them off. I think now is the time. All right. If you don't know who I'm talking about, you will be reminded of it very soon. What happened? What kind of glitch? All right, who's next?
Timestamps. And Nut Slap was one of those timestamps.
Oh, okay. I just need a couple chips. Blue. It's so true. I can't wait to take one. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm hungry. I found a store that sells them. I don't have to order them online anymore. They're on my wish list, by the way. All right. Nut slap. I'm doing Wisdom of the House of Night. Who's the fourth? Because I know we have Nut slap, Casey, and Lotus.
Lotus and Eris.
Eris. Sorry, I forgot about her. Miss Eris. She's so sweet. I wonder why she doesn't creep in anymore. I was talking to her personally. She wanted to do a video call, but I charged for those. I was going to do a couple minutes, but I remember it was just like any other week where every time I'd make a point to hook up with her, something else would happen. So I hope she's not mad with me. People have been really upset with me about not getting back to them. But again, it's for things like video calls. Like, I charge for that stuff. I do a lot of other things for free. You know, I give my personal number to people to text if they need me. I feel like that should be accounted for, right? That should mean something. I don't normally do that anymore because my channel's bigger, but I can't turn people away. But I also charge so much for video calls because I don't really like doing them, and I will not talk on the phone. Oh, really? Maybe there was something there you needed to see, Cliff. Nut slap, card number 7, the High Priestess of Spirit. Wow. I am Nyx, goddess of the night, and you have chosen this symbol to help guide you on this journey to find an answer to your question. Consider that there is an invisible spirit within all living things. Know that all things, events, and experiences are woven together like a magical web that can be seen only in the darkest night and not by human eyes. My child, everything that you need to know is part of the divine scheme of things. A meaningful coincidence, a blessed friendship, a lover, and a significant experience are all orchestrated by me to help you become the powerful being you were meant to become. No matter what's in front of you, something important is brewing. I've been telling you this for weeks, possibly even months, Nut Slap. You'll know the answer to the what soon enough, but I keep secret the why. You may step forward knowing that some things are meant to remain a mystery. I feel like there's something that you're about to step into, situation, relationship, a new way of living. So like maybe dynamics change within your household or at work, or there's something here that's going to be new and different and somewhat exciting. But then I feel like it's just not going to be what you thought it was. It's like Nut Slap, it's not going to be what you expected it to be. And I feel like it is something that you've been looking forward to, or maybe you've been feeling that you've wanted or needed. I'm going to use a promotion at work for an example. So even though the money is much better, it's not everything it was cracked up to be. It ends up being more work. And now you're deciding, like, do I want to continue in this higher up role, making all this, all this more money, more money, or do I want to step down and have like an easier time, right? Is the juice worth the squeeze, Nut Slap? And I feel like you're going to have to ask yourself that in the next couple of weeks. Is something that you're putting all this effort and energy into really worth the effort and energy you're putting into it? Could be a person, a job, even a friendship. This is about you matching energy. I'm getting this just intuitively. Nut Slap. Match energy, right? I know you're not afraid to tell someone to go F themselves, but watch that you're not careless with other people's feelings in the next couple of weeks, because I feel like someone genuinely might be trying to tell you something or get through to you about something. And because either you don't like this person or you don't trust this person or this person just there's something about them, like you could end up being cruel for no reason to somebody. I just channeled all that. It has nothing to do with the card, so take it as it resonates. All right, Miss Eris. I'm going to use Mythical Goddess. Yeah, and no, well, that's ideal for me too, as far as connection, but I just get so nervous. Again, my self-esteem, my self-worth is okay. My self-esteem is not the best. And I always feel like when I meet people in person, like I'm going to let them down. I've had so many men, particularly in my life, that would fall in love with this idea of me based on how I looked. And when I didn't live up to that perfection, I was nothing. Girl, we understood you. All right, Miss Eris, mythical goddess. I hope Miss Lara's okay. Athenia, card number 7, the Chariot, and you could be dealing with a Cancer. This could be your energy or someone around you, someone with a lot of Cancer in their charts. This is taking the reins, moving forward, and not looking back, regardless of what's behind you. Athenia, Greek warrior goddess, breathed the soul into humans and provided fire, the life-giving olive tree, goldsmithing, and tools to bridle the power of oxen and horses. Athenia is skilled in the art of war and is the protector of the people. The goddess of agriculture, weaving, and the arts, she is powerful and practical. Athenia exemplifies what can be done with your artistic, creative skills when you follow her lead and drive your chariot to your goals. Athenia's powerful example of stamina and focus aids you in finding your rhythm to achieve victory in your life. Keeping your quote-unquote eye on the prize, no distractions can come between you and your target. Follow Athenia's war cry. Be willing to fight the battles that are necessary and find in yourself the endurance to ride catalytic change and triumph over all obstacles. Eris, this is you. Basically what I said in the beginning, just making a decision and going with it, not really working out too many of the details, moving by instinct, right? Going with your gut every single step of the way, not stopping to second guess or question. This is a complete and total leap of faith. In the traditional tarot card, the Chariot is riding away from a beautiful golden castle, leaving it all behind. The power of yin and yang. You see the horses? She's looking to find balance. But the way she's going to do that is a seemingly very imbalanced way. I'm just going to make a decision. I remember one time I went on a first date with a guy and we went to New York City, went to Manhattan, Times Square, and we decided where we were going to go by how the lights turned. So if the light turned red, we make a right. If it was yellow, we make a left, and it was green, we go straight. This is kind of what you're doing in your life right now. You're kind of just letting it play out. You're making decisions based on how you feel in the moment. And for the next couple of months, that's going to be okay. Normally, it's like, no, stop, check with your intuition, check the energy. This is like, no, keep going. You are being divinely guided just to get to where you need to be so you could start the next journey of your soul. I don't know what the rush is here, but there's something you're trying to achieve or accomplish very quickly. You can, but you got to cut out all the nonsense and negativity. Stop listening so much to what other people think, say, feel, need, want. It's like, no, boy, bye, girl, bye, they, bye, bye, bye. We're not doing that. Eris is doing for Eris. If you can quickly make these decisions without overthinking too much, while still remaining in balance, because that's going to be what balances you out. Trial and error. You're going to be just fine. And whatever this is you're trying to achieve is going to be yours in no time. If you listen to what other people have to say, if you listen to the negativity in your head, the lower vibrational energies and spirits that are around us all the time that feed that poison to us, you can't do that. You're ugly. You're stupid. If we listen to that mess, and those demonic entities, those negative spirits, they are there and they do that. I told y'all last week, I saw a kid at the hospital I go to for my medication once a month. I saw him there, and he had a guest come to the IOP under the influence. While the counselor was telling him that he could not be there because he was under the influence, a demon popped up from behind him and started dumping buckets of tar over his head. I instinctively knew the tar was shame. As they turned around to leave, I saw these little, it was like comedic. I saw the demon whispering in his ear, but there were little comic book bubbles popping up. And I knew that those bubbles, they had drug paraphernalia and alcohol in them. The demon was whispering, well, you might as well give up, right? There's no hope now. You were kicked out of IOP. We should go do as much as possible. They're all around us all the time. particularly light workers. So Eris, you know what you've got to do. And for some reason, I feel like there's a rush here. There's like intensity to this. Get out there, do it. Bam, bam, bam. You got this. KC. KC, I'm going to use the Myths and Mermaids deck. I don't even have money for pods. All right, let's do this. Casey, I hope you're well. I've been fervently praying recently. I got back into my ritualistic prayer, Christian, and you have been such a big part of it. I hope that energy hits you and gives you protection. Tennille, same thing. Deb, you too. I mean, all of you come in and out of my prayers all the time. Casey, you got the Jellyfish Portal, card number 19 in the reversed shadow position. Let life take us unassuming, yielding to the ebb and flow. No hurries, no worries, we need not scurry. The current will lead us wherever we go. A deep-dwelling mermaid watches passively as a smack of ice blue jellyfish flutter by, carried by the ocean current. Their brilliant luminosity brings light to an otherwise darkened scene. The antithesis, meaning the shadow, put up a fight. Casey, someone may be trying to take advantage of you. Although others around you seem to accept the situation, you're not required to sit idly by. Instead, draw from your inner strength and fight for what you believe is right. It may be unpopular, but your opinion does deserve to be voiced. So, Casey, we actually talked about this. I'm not going to get too personal. Something just hissed. I'm not going to get too personal into your personal reading. Hi, Tandy. But here's the deal. We talked about this in your monthly personals a couple of times. 2 months ago specifically, I remember speaking to you about you have made a decision to do something, get involved with something, help someone, and you've got so much kind of backlash and resistance from the people around you. The fact of the matter is, with everything you've been through, you have to learn a new way to live. And you've talked about losing your husband of 43 years and not dealing with it very well. But who's to say how you deal with something like that? Being pushed to move on or, get back out there. Like, none of that matters. What matters is how you feel and what you feel the need to put your energy towards. Okay, this is letting life happen. I hate this phrase, but on life's terms. Now, with that being said, you're still getting some resistance, some backlash, some flack, so to speak, about something you've gotten yourself involved in, you've chose to give money to or donate. There's donation, there's time. I don't know what this is, but you're giving a lot to what and or whoever this is, whether it's a person, a community, so again, something that you're volunteering at or volunteering with. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks, says, or feels. You're not giving away any of their energy. You're not giving away any of their money. You're not giving away any of their resources. They have no say. And I know that sounds harsh and cruel because it's probably people who really love you and who are worried. But here's the thing. There's no handbook or guidebook for grief. If this is what's helping you through and you feel and know in your gut instinct and intuition with all of your being, heart, and soul that this is what you need to be doing right now, do it. Do not be talked out of it. In fact, I think whatever this is important and imperative to you being able to eventually get on with life. And I told you, whenever you're ready, I will call your husband in and we'll do a video. All right. You're not ready yet. I know that, but I'm here. That's what I do. I don't do it often and I don't normally offer, but for you, I'll do that. But don't let someone talk you out of something. I'm going to do Lotus. Tandy, welcome. I love seeing new faces. We've had quite a few tonight. We're here every week. And what I do here is if you want a reading and you don't have to get one, you can hang out the whole time. You can listen afterwards, take whatever messages resonate, whether you get a reading or not. But if you'd like a reading, You can donate $2 to my PayPal or Cash App, or you can donate $4 through Super Chat or Super Sticker. Now, because it's your first time here and you didn't know how it worked, if you can't donate, I'll give you a reading tonight on the house because others have donated extra. So just basically let me know if you want a reading. You would love to know when it becomes stronger. Well, Tandy, I'll pull a card for you, but I can tell you your gift becomes stronger the more you accept it, right? So the more you lean into understanding that there is a quote unquote magical ability about you, right? When you understand that it doesn't matter who believes and who doesn't. I had to give a message to a close friend that he had DNA blood ties with werewolves who are in like this cult in Colorado. How do you think that made me feel? But that was the message. And I know what my gift is. I've had it my whole life. So now I don't hold back. And I'm very humble about this. It is spirit, not me, but I'm never wrong in this stream. I'm never wrong when I do personals, not ever. And I've been doing it for almost 5 years. So once you accept it more, let me do my last timestamp and then I will pull a card for you. No problem. And welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I love seeing the new names. It lets me know that I'm doing something right. Lotus Girl, we're going to use the Oracle of the Universe. Tandy, there are also ways you can work on enhancing your gift. That's spending time with spirit, pulling some oracle cards or tarot cards yourself even, right? If you have a deck handy, you can get them really cheap with the explanations on them. It's a good way to bring messages through, or you can write, automatic write. I mean, whatever you can try all different things. If you have an ability, you have an ability. Yeah, no problem. Let me just read for Lotus Girl, and then I will pull a card for you. Then we're going to end for the night. I love having new people in here. It's awesome. And you're welcome to come every week. Like I said, even if you don't, not everybody gets a reading. Some people listen afterwards and just take the messages that come in. People like to come in and just talk and hang out in the chat. So, all right. So this is for Tennille. Ursa Major, the constellation of vows. That's interesting. I do talk a lot and I do get sidetracked, but I always get the message through. Keeping your word is important, Tennille. Someone may be trying to damage your reputation by breaking their word. Now, we know this is definitely happening. Check all legal contracts thoroughly before signing. If you make a promise to yourself, see it through. You are worth keeping your good word to yourself. Honor yourself. Tennille, somehow in this day and age, it's a rare thing to be able to hold a secret or make a vow and never break it. While in ancient times, vows were considered a very serious thing. For example, fealty was sworn to the death. And some religious or spiritual vows were punishable by death if broken. Today, our word means a lot less. Our mythos for Ursa Major concerned the breaking of a vow. Callisto was a beautiful nymph, and she had sworn a vow of chastity to the maiden goddess Artemis. The father of Artemis, Zeus, saw Callisto and began to woo her. Callisto fell in love with Zeus and conceived a son whom they called Arcus. Artemis soon found out about the relationship and banished Callisto from her territory for breaking her vow. Being banished, however, was the least of Callisto's problems, as Hera, the wife of Zeus, found out about the betrayal. It's said that Callisto wandered the forest as a bear for almost 2 decades until one day she came across a young man. The young man was frightened of the bear and pulled out his spear. Callisto was ready to attack the young man in return. Zeus saw this situation for what it was, the mother and son ready to kill each other. The young man was, of course, Arcus. And so, to avert more tragedy, Zeus elevated the two of them into the night sky, she as Ursa Major and he as Ursa Minor. My baby's home. Words of power. I keep my word to myself and others. Lotus, the thing that stuck out to me most here is those legal documents. It doesn't necessarily have to be a document. Any and all legal matters. What did I tell you? And you told me, Gems, I got my stuff together. Like I made demands that I knew they weren't going to be able to produce because they were trying to screw me. I hope this is just talking about catching the end of that. Okay. Someone else here is being very dishonest concerning you, Porky, the both of you, and or your business. All right. Tennille, in the next couple of weeks, make sure you dot all your I's. I was going to say dot your T's and cross your I's. Dot all of your I's and cross all of your T's. Also, any promises you make to yourself, any things that you're suddenly, I know you're very, very physically ill, but a lot of that is the spiritual stuff and constantly being under attack by these people that are just so lower vibrational and ick, right? I know right now you can't get away from all of them. You're kind of stuck in it, so you're doing the best that you can. Now you got a personal coming from me Monday, Lord willing, snow willing. And I want to talk more to you about what we talked about yesterday. But for now, please make sure you have everything in order. And if you said to yourself, like, I'm going to go after this mother effer with everything I've got, the universe wants you to honor that. Doesn't matter what it takes. This is your reputation at stake. This is your not only possibly your marriage that like could be so negatively and detrimentally affected by this, but your business, your livelihood. So Neil, girl, we gotta talk because I'm not having it. All right. Who was the last person? I forgot the first name. Tandy. All right, Miss Tandy, I'm going to use the deck, the Wisdom of the House of Night. Then, guys, I'm going to end because my little man is home and we have to get up so early. Good night, Max. Thank you. All right, Miss Tandy, this one's for you. Like I said, if the reading doesn't touch on your ability, just listen to what I said, okay? There are meditations to open your third eye right here on YouTube. I know that sounds silly, but it works. If it feels good to you, do it. I do yoga because I can't meditate, but I listen to high frequency binaural beats. Listen to them while you're sleeping. Guided meditations to meet your guides. You might think that it all sounds silly and foolish, but I'm telling you, you might have to go through 10 of them before you find the one that you resonate with that works for you, but you will find it. You're on a mission to be who you truly were meant to be and to help others. And I'm proud of you for taking the step of coming in here. So remember, no matter what this card talks about, because it could be anything, that's your message about your ability, all right? Everything for your highest good. So we had the High Priestess of Spirit for Nut Slap. Miss Tandy, I love that name, by the way. We have card number 5, the High Priestess of Fire. So you could be dealing with a fire sign, Leo or Sagittarius specifically, but Aries too. I know he's coming upstairs. Tandy, bear with me for 1 minute, okay? I thought he was coming up. I was going to let him say hi. My child, you have chosen the symbol of the vampire high priestess of fire, the goddess of creativity and passion. There you go, what you're passionate about. Whenever she arrives, she reminds you of your ability to create your own reality and to choose how you channel your energy. Lodonish Dragon Sword didn't show up. If you are restless, Tandy, call upon the High Priestess of Fire for inspiration and joy, and she will release you from the trap of boredom. Fire brings warmth and light, but it also burns when it's allowed to get out of control. Spend your energy creatively, not impulsively, and guard yourself against burnout. Use your fire wisely and let your light shine brightly. Yes, this is you stepping into your ability. Here's the thing, it's going to alienate people. I have my dad, who I'm very close with, have been close with my whole life. If I even mention my ability, he will call me an artard, the word I can't say on YouTube. And he gets mad, but he comes to me for readings on his birthday. I don't know. That's the kind of thing you're going to be battling against, right? And it could make you feel like, is this all crazy, right? I don't know what your specific ability is. You may not know, but you're working with energy right now and finding out what works best for you. Here's the thing. You could get carried away with like taking on too much, trying to do too much. Girl, I could tell you a thing or two. If you come in here weekly, you'll get to know I have a very, very big issue regarding that person in my life. Doesn't matter. This isn't saying leave anybody that you're living with or that you're connected to. This is emotional detachment so that you can focus on what you were sent here to do. All right. We all chart our own course. We all write our own lives out. You were born with the ability for a reason. If you don't use it, it's a wasted gift. And you have to come to terms with not caring what others think. It is what it is. And you don't have to let every single person into this part of your life. You can compartmentalize. I feel like you're going to be drawn so much into your ability, though, that you do risk possibly alienating people inadvertently, right? Like I know with like Oracle, I was reading 50, 60, 70 people privately a week for free, for donation only. I burnt out. I didn't ever want to read an Oracle card again, but I loved it so much until I didn't. It's something like that. Plus with someone, even just one person beeping in your ear that it's ridiculous, it's stupid, that can really affect your ability to do things. So in the next couple of weeks, start out by exploring the guided meditations and the binaural beats I told you about. Just type it into YouTube. Guided meditation to meet spirit guide while you sleep. There should be 8, 9, 10 hours. If you don't like the sound of one, move on to the next one. You will find a couple that you like. I use them religiously. Now, as far as people who are going to resist this, don't talk about it. Resist the urge to seek validation from people you know aren't going to give it, because that's just an excuse not to move forward. You're being called to your purpose, and that should be the most important thing. All right? Everyone, I have got to go. I love you all tremendously. I've got to get up at 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday for first grade basketball. So guys, thank you all so much. Remember, please donate if you can. It is the only money I make. PayPal, Cash App. That is awesome, Tandy. I love you too. Please come in every week. Join the chats, hang out. I'm here at 7:15 p.m. Eastern every single week, usually at 7. That is so amazing. What a great way to end the night, right? Have a great weekend, everyone. Much love, light, and peace.